news online at fppradio.com.
After logging onto the Xbox One game console at one of his classmates' homes, 12-year-old Michael Cutler admitted to reporters this week that he really does not have the slightest clue about what his friend's name could be.
I mean, his name might be Brian. No, wait, Brian's my other friend, the one with the PS4. Yeah, if I'm being totally honest, there's no way I can tell you his name. Not a chance.
Noting that the boy had, quote, an absolutely huge HD TV and a bunch of games his mom won't let him play, Cutler confirmed that he could recall only the faintest details about his friend, including the fact that his mother makes chocolate chip cookies and that he has a dog of some kind.
He's got Killer Instinct, Assassin's Creed, Battlefield 4, and Titanfall? Man, that game's awesome. Anyway, I've just been calling him Flamethrower because that's his gamer tag. Hopefully he doesn't catch on. Hey, can I stick around for a few more hours? I'm so close to beating this.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, and of course you're invited here to join us on the radio, or you can take control of the airwaves toll-free. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Also, we've got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms, which are open and available to you on our Discord server over at discord.lrn.fm. That's the way you can sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And tonight, it's Ian.
Rich.
And Melanie.
Rich Paul, welcome back.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's good to be back. Thanks for filling in my last name, too. I usually say Rich Paul, and for that reason, that time Rich just fell out of my mouth.
Here you are, back again. It's been too long, I got to say. What, a few months since you've been in here?
Yeah, I miss it. I wish I were close enough to write in once a week. I mean, I would write in once a week. If you find me a day, I'll come back. I would be delighted to commute.
We'll kick
down
Mark
here.
off of Mondays and just put you back on.
Yeah,
How about
put
that?
me and Melanie on. We'd be a hoot. We'll be like the from the six-column Keniacs wing of the Manchester Porcupine movement.
Right on. So, I mean, I don't know how much of your court cases we've talked about on the air or how many you want to talk about, because you've had some really good news in the world of criminal charges versus Rich Paul over the last few months. I mean, they've been in Manchester, where you've been living since you came back to New Hampshire. You took a year off. You went and traveled down to Michigan, made a little bit of money, and came back. Yeah. And subsequently were arrested I was 2 or 3 times.
A Bitcoin thousandaire.
Yeah. Well, you were subsequently targeted by Manchester police in 2 seemingly random incidents. Where they slapped you with charges. One of them, felon in possession of a weapon for having a machete in a car with other implements of, tool-type implements.
Yeah.
And then there was another one where you were on the streets in Manchester and the cops came up to you with an incredibly ridiculous claim and charge.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, I was coming out of a club that I frequent, and I went to get in my car, and there was another guy.
Which is an old police cruiser, by the way.
Yeah, it is an old police cruiser that's now a vandalized old police cruiser. It's got smiley faces smoking doobies on the front doors, and it's got anarchy signs
symbols, right?
in the back. So now when the cops ask me about it, I just say, well, I wanted to vandalize a police car, but I didn't want to get arrested, so I bought my own.
And the funny thing is, it probably was one of theirs, because I know I used to have one of those cruisers as well till it finally broke down, but it was formerly a Manchester police cruiser.
Oh,
Do you know where yours came from?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I wish I did. It would be nice to. I'm sure there's some ghosts riding around in that car that would love to tell me.
So you're going to the car.
I'm going to the car. This guy's walking down the other side of the street. And
the cop or some guy?
Just some random guy.
Okay.
So first the cops roll up on this guy. And I've got a big old bag of weed in a bag in my hand.
I don't know if you should be admitting that, but...
Well, they can't prove it now. I smoked it. But I got...
You didn't say how big it was, and now weed has been decriminalized here in
Well, it was a big bag, but it was it was actually what was it? I think it might have been 20.999999 grams. But anyway, so I throw the bag of weed in my trunk, and I'm and I close it, and I'm trying to locate my phone so I can go cop block these cops, and the next thing you know, they call me over. And well, that saves me trouble. At least they're not going to ask what I'm doing here. But unfortunately, I still can't find my phone. It had fallen down between the seats in the car.
Okay, so there's no video of this.
There is no video of this. And Manchester police have no body cams, and they have no dash cams. They have nothing.
Yeah.
They are completely unsupervised out there. So anyway, the cops call me over. And first thing they do is ask me for ID. So I say, well, do you have a reasonable, articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime?
Okay.
And,
good answer.
And he said, you fit the description of someone who is leaving the scene of, and here there is some miscommunication. I thought that he was looking for two guys who had run from a breaking and entering. Okay. And thought we were these guys. Turned out it was actually a couple of guys. They tried to pull him over on ATVs, and apparently they ran. 3 people got pulled over. 1 stayed, 2 ran.
Gotcha.
Of course, then again, if I was on an ATV with 2 other vehicles and the police, I wouldn't assume that they were pulling 3 vehicles over. I would assume they were pulling 1 vehicle over. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I give him the ID, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna play along with this. And next thing you know, they come out of the alley with, I didn't know what it was, but apparently it was an ATV and a backpack. Some of the other guys saw it and thought this thing was a bomb disposal robot, but actually it was apparently an ATV. And they're like, "Where's yours?" And I'm like, "Where's my what?"
Right.
And at which point the cop, and I'd argued with him some, at which point the cops just said, "Okay, that's enough. Arrest them both."
Wow.
And off we went to
you
jail.
And this other guy, you didn't even know who this other guy was.
Yeah. And
some guy on the street. You
know, and I'm like, well, you know, we can call somebody who's at the club I just left, and they can tell you when I left, and they were like, well, they'll lie for you guys. They hate us. And so he knew where I was coming from.
Right. He knew about
the quill, where I was, but he arrested me anyway.
Which is a no longer secret club in Manchester for.
Oh, is it no longer secret?
No, it's not secret.
Okay, you can name it.
You can, because Amanda Bolden, state representative who used to be a Free State Project,
who claimed under oath that she didn't know that weed was illegal.
She threw the whole place under the bus a while back. This was a couple of years ago now, when she went bad, when she went from Libertarian to Democrat.
Yeah. You know, lefty. I noticed, I don't know if any of you out there in Radioland are amongst this number, but I just unliked her page today because I didn't know that I'd liked one of her pages. And there's a lot of libertarians who still like State Representative Amanda Bolden. So if you're
going like that,
you might want to go on Facebook and fix that if you're one of that number.
Okay, so they arrested you, charged you with what? Leaving the scene?
Disobeying a police officer in fleeing a traffic stop.
Is that a misdemeanor?
Yeah, that's a misdemeanor, but it's also a major motor vehicle, so it goes toward being declared a habitual. They just say habitual, driving while habitual, but which doesn't make any sense.
You exist in time, Rich. Yeah. That is not allowed.
But anyway, so it's an important charge to beat, and it's also just stupid. When I get arrested for a reason.
Right, civil
These
disobedience.
guys are just running around jerking off on ATVs.
Yeah.
There's no political purpose to that.
Right. So is that one still pending, that charge?
Yeah, that's still pending, and there's another pair, driving on suspended license, driving on suspended registration, which resulted from a from a no inspection sticker ticket is what all of this grew out of, is not being able to get my car inspected because the 7th cylinder was missing, which does not make the car unsafe. It just ruins my gas mileage. So can I please drive it to work till I can afford to fix it?
Not in New Hampshire.
The Crown does not object.
Yeah, not
if
in
it
New Hampshire.
pleases the Crown.
The car inspections are just total sham from top to bottom to prevent people who tend to be poorer from being able to get where they need to go.
Yeah, rich people don't have any problem with car inspections.
Correct.
You know, and for one thing, their cars work, and for another thing, it's not much money unless you're a $12 an hour dishwasher who doesn't want to be a computer programmer because he's frigging shrugging because the system sucks.
So the good news is the machete charge that was total BS has already been dropped.
Yes.
So that's some good news. The car inspections slash thing was also turns out they
one driving on suspended pair has been removed because they arrested me 2 days before it was suspended.
We'll continue here in
there's
moments.
more.
You can bring up whatever you want and take control of the airwaves. We got news from the border on the way and more. It's Free Talk Live.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding has stopped. The itching has stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dynovite is nutrition.
Dynovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dynovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink, like we have. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening at home anytime, anywhere, from your smartphone. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. Get your Blink camera system starting at less than $100 by visiting blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial on in here, toll free, and take control of the airwaves if you want. You can bring up anything that's on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. By the way, I want you to know about the Blink home security system. We've got it here at the studio, and if you care about your property and your family, you might want to consider getting the Blink home security system for you, or maybe get it for somebody as their gift this holiday season, because you can get your Blink camera system starting at less than $100 by visiting blinkprotect.com/FTL. That's blinkprotect.com/FTL. There's no contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. Plus, the batteries, they're just AA's, so it's not hard to get new batteries. These are wireless cameras, which means they're super easy to get set up, unlike wired camera systems that you got to drag wires through walls and do all kinds of ridiculous things with. It's so easy with the Blink system. Go to blinkprotect.com/FTL. Get yours or get one for somebody that you care about. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Rich Paul,
and Melanie.
We're just doing kind of a Rich Paul catch-up here because things have been a little bit busy for you out there in Manchester. You'd moved back to New Hampshire as part of the New Hampshire Freedom Migration. You were, you wanted to just kind of settle down a little bit, get a job. You got the job. You've been working as you mentioned, as a dishwasher for a Liberty-owned business in the Manchester area. And that didn't stop the police from harassing you.
No, actually, it was the funny thing is the 2 times that I got arrested in Bedford, both of them I was driving to work.
Wow.
And those are the only shifts I missed while I was there.
Really?
The only time I missed work was when, armed men literally kidnapped me to prevent me from going.
That's nice that you have a boss who's forgiving towards that.
Well, yeah, it's true. Yeah. Although I'm not actually there anymore.
Oh, okay.
They slowed down and the shifts got too short to justify the drive.
Gotcha.
Especially driving back into Bedford in the same car.
This
which
is like a bedroom community
unmistakable.
of Manchester. Bedford's kind of like the soccer mom community next door.
Exactly. And Bedford police generally like to harass people in less rich-looking cars that drive through there.
So was it the Bedford cops or Manchester who got you on the machete charge?
That was the Bedford cops. That was when they arrested me for driving on suspended license and registration, which was 2 days before the license and registration actually became suspended. And then they used the arrest to justify impounding the car.
Yep.
And then they used impounding the car to justify searching the car. And that resulted in the felony charge.
Possession of a weapon as a felon. But it's not on the list of weapons, right? This machete is exempt.
Yeah, exactly. There's 13 named objects like guns, stilettos, daggers that are weapons per se under New Hampshire law, and you can't have them if you're a felon. Any other object that you could kill somebody with, which is just about every object in existence, it becomes a weapon when you use it as a weapon, when you threaten to use it as a weapon, or when you intend to use it as a weapon.
In this case, it was sitting in your trunk with other tools.
Exactly.
As you were doing gardening work, I believe, at the time.
You know, the only thing I've ever killed with a machete was a bush, and it wasn't one of the presidents either.
Toll-free number if you want to join us here is 855-450, free like freedom. So I'm glad to hear that charge got dropped finally. And you're only facing the BS charge of where they're claiming that you were on an ATV with a group of men that you didn't know and you weren't there. And so it'll be interesting to see them try to prove that case.
Yeah, the walking white case, I call it, because...
Yeah, no offense, but like I don't think that you're kind of still in your days of drunkenly driving around ATVs at 2 o'clock in the morning with 18-year-olds.
Oh, is that how old the other guy was?
I gotta save my energy for hookers and blow. I don't have any for ATVs.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because it's
hookers
actually
and blow.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because
I never expected you to say that.
Hey, it ain't my thing. It ain't my thing. But it is in the news apparently. And Melanie, you've got a story related to prostitution that apparently these incels. Now, this is something we've talked about within the last year on Free Talk Live. It stands for, I believe, involuntarily celibate.
Well, I don't know that.
I'm pretty sure that's what incel stands for.
The ideology of the people doing this.
Okay, well, I don't know anything about the story. All I know is you mentioned before the show, incels have been calling the police.
Well, I said people have been.
Maybe it was Rich who said it. Somebody in this studio said incels had been calling the police against prostitutes. And I just thought that was ridiculous. So I wanted to hear where that came from. What's the story?
Yeah. Well, my understanding is that this was organized through an incel board, and they
as in a message board.
Yeah, they have like communities, I guess, like everybody.
Not like
does
a board of
these
directors
days.
for some incel organization.
Right.
Yeah.
So apparently through one of these message boards, they organized a thing of reporting sex workers or suspected sex workers to the IRS for tax evasion. And this includes like Snapchat girls and cam girls and that kind of thing. And a lot of it is incels are people who are bitter that people don't want to have sex with them.
Right.
And
some of them get violent.
Yeah, and apparently they seem to believe they have a right to rape in some cases, and that's and that's something that's openly argued in incel communities. So incel doesn't mean just a guy who can't get laid. It's a particular philosophy, and it's pretty abhorrent.
Yeah, I don't know what the philosophy is. I remember we talked about it to some extent when there was that guy in Toronto who ran down a bunch of people on a sidewalk. He like got a rented van or something, and just plowed into people on the sidewalk. Turns out he was an incel and had made some sort of post on his Facebook in advance of that. And again, he was ostensibly mad and looked up to a killer whose name I don't recall right now. I think it was Elliot somebody or other. There's like a certain murderer that a lot of the incels actually look up to. And they just, it's sick. I totally agree with you. Everything I've heard about it.
Yeah, and the thing is, nobody is involuntarily celibate. If you can get, I don't care if you're in a wheelchair dying, if you can put $50 in your pocket and go down to Cumberland Farms in Manchester, just chill. Somebody will help you. So you're not involuntarily celibate. Maybe you're a cheap ass. And maybe that's what keeps you celibate.
I don't even know that in a lot of cases that's kind of their only option. There's a lot of people, men and women, who are 5s and won't settle for anything less than a 9. And that not just physical appearance, but your entire value, and they have really high standards for what they want and are not really willing to do anything to raise their own value. So then they just
Elliot Rodger. That was the name I was looking for. I think I had the first name. Elliot Rodger. They call him the Supreme Gentleman. He killed 6 people in a stabbing and shooting spree in California. And apparently he was also mad over not getting, well, laid.
See, that's not how they defined gentleman when I was a kid. I think that word's meaning is shifting.
More coming up here in moments. This is Free Talk Live.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. So much fun, you'll forget you have a wife and kids. Makes the perfect stocking stuffer. Get your Bug Assault today and save $10 on the Bug Beam Laser Combo, only at bugassault.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free and bring up whatever you want. Our incels, the so-called involuntarily celibates, are they now reporting sex workers to the IRS. That's the story that Melanie's going to share with us here in a moment. I also want to make sure that you know about Bitcoin.com. This is where you can go to get the basics on Bitcoin. Right now, great time to learn about it, given the price has been falling like a rock over the last couple of weeks. Bitcoin scraping at around, I think, $3,500 per Bitcoin today. Just a couple of weeks ago, it was $6,500, so it has lost a tremendous amount of its U.S. dollar-based value. Might be a good time to start looking into making a purchase if you are interested in learning about Bitcoin. I would start over at Bitcoin.com. They got the Bitcoin.com Academy there, plus a great news site to keep you in the loop with what's going on in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Once again, that's Bitcoin.com. As we continue, Ian, Rich, and Melanie in the studio tonight. Melanie, so what is the story here? You said it doesn't necessarily target the incels, but still I'm curious to know more about what is being reported on, who's doing this reporting on sex workers.
Yeah, so they blame a couple different people, which are probably all accurate. This is from news.com.australia.
Okay.
Online sex workers have slammed a viral campaign by right-wing incels and men's rights activists to mass
Okay, so it does say it's incels. Okay.
They seem to conflate the right-wing with incels, which is annoying, but...
Well, there probably are left-wing incels, but I'm not sure. I'm not
well,
really
and all
deep into
right-wing
their
people
community.
are not incels.
I think the way I think there's a lot of political shades to that movement that I think it does tend to be a right-wing movement.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I mean, if you are a left-wing person who is also without sex and angry about it, wouldn't that make you an incel
It
as well?
started with like a left-wing feminist somewhere. She was like the first person to self-identify that way.
Really? It was actually a woman who was the first incel?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I'm going to have to read up on this. I'm going to have to find out.
Which
who
is
these
difficult
people
to
are.
accomplish as a woman.
It
but
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, going on.
Yeah, so to report them to tax authorities for allegedly failing to declare income. Okay, so by the way, you can't really tell from someone's Instagram page
if they're
paying taxes or not.
Yeah.
The hashtag thought audit, which appears to have been
THOT?
Yes.
Which stands for that hoe over there. It's internet slang.
Yeah, that's what the internet told me today. But
Right, because if you just
I never
pronounce
bothered
it,
to
sounds
look
like,
it up.
if you
but
just
yeah.
pronounce it, it sounds like an English word, but it's not. It's an acronym.
Yeah. So, have started by a Facebook user calling themselves David Wu, that's W-U, and he claims this on his page. I looked it up. Begin to trend on Sunday after being promoted by controversial pickup artist and legal rape advocate Rush Valdez.
So
maybe?
there's a pickup artist on the internet who's also a rape advocate.
Yeah, he's probably just a troll. But...
You'd think if he was a better pickup artist, he wouldn't
wouldn't
need to
need it,
advocate for rape. I mean, come on, guy.
Well, art is in the eye of the beholder, I guess.
Wow. I'd like to behold his eye one day.
And he said, that guy said, online thoughts are finding out that all income generated, I can't say that on the air, is taxable. Men are aggressively...
Can you say the first letter of it? All income generated, some curse word?
Anatomical terms.
Okay. All income...
So if you're a prostitute,
generated.
how would you be generating your income?
Okay. Yeah, just wondering what the first letter of the word you can't...
I probably can say... I don't know. I'm not sure
Can you
if I
say
can
the
say
first
that.
letter? If you're when in doubt, leave it out is the rule when it comes to radio. But could you say the first letter? V. Okay, gotcha. So I'm not sure. Is it the clinical
good
term?
God, you can say this.
You're talking about the clinical
Online,
term? You can say a clinical term if that's what you...
Online thoughts are finding out that all income generated from their breasts and vaginas
that's clinical.
is taxable.
Okay. Well, I know it's clinical, like if it's in a clinical setting, because I know there's ways like...
This idiot tweeted.
But, yeah, so...
That's not pandering to the lowest common denominator, so it's fine.
So... And he continues on. Men are aggressively organizing to report all thoughts. I don't blame them. These girls are getting a free ride via beta bucks Like, okay.
Okay. So what he's talking about
Well,
is
we've been expecting the thought police ever since 1984. I guess
didn't think
they
it was gonna look
finally
like this.
arrived.
Yeah.
It's not really a free ride. It's not a line of work I would ever want to do, but in no way
They're
is
jealous.
it just like
They're jealous. Look.
they still got to show up to work.
Okay, but wait. They're jealous that these girls can make money because they're pretty, right? Like that's ultimately what they're mad about. They've got to go to these incels. They probably have some job that they go to and they don't like, and they hate their lives, and then they go home and at nighttime they watch these pretty girls take their clothes off on the internet or just sit and play video games, by the way. There's some of them that don't even take their clothes off and they make big money. The Twitch channel, or we're on twitch.tv, which you can go to twitch.lrn.fm. It's a video game streaming website. There's this girl that one of our listeners, Baraka66 in our Discord chat, he keeps posting her link to our chat room on occasion to show us what she's doing. And usually she's playing like Twister or playing some video game while wearing very, very skimpy clothing. She can't show nudity because it's against the Twitch terms of service. So she can show her cleavage. She can, be wearing like booty shorts or the super, super short shorts, the ones with like the pockets that hang lower than the shorts themselves. So she's like almost naked, but not quite. And she's got money rolling in hand over fist. So I can understand why somebody would be jealous that somebody can actually get paid.
They have male sex workers too. If
They do.
If you're interested in that for some reason,
That's
and
true.
you're good at it, like you
Right.
have to be good at any line of work. It's not like any woman can go be a prostitute. Like you're still talking about a very small top percentage, probably a bigger percentage.
And
than
not every
men,
incel can go and be a prostitute either. I
Yeah.
mean, not every incel is going to be able to pull off, being a cam model.
But
cam
there's
boy.
a top percentage of men that could be sex workers if they wanted to.
Yeah. Well, even now, you don't have to be the prettiest of pretty person to be a cam model. I mean, there are people who are looking for not the prettiest of people, right? Like there are people who are into
grandma
older people.
porn.
Yeah.
That's a niche.
Yeah, right. There's all kinds of niches out there for people to get into. And it's certainly true that there's plenty of horny gay men out there who want to pay to watch men take their clothes off. So you're right. These guys who are complaining about this could very well get in touch with our buddy Chris Reitman on Thursday night and sign up for his porn site.
Yeah, they need to get online and they need to take matters into their own hands.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not recommending that line of work, but if the complaint is you can make money easily, like, well, I don't know how easy it is, but you can make that money too.
All right, so they're mad because people are making money on the internet by sitting around and playing video games and looking
And I
pretty.
think that's half of
taking
it, but
their
I think
clothes
the
off.
other half is that they can't have what they want for free.
Wait, you mean
They can't
have
get
the girl?
Nobody wants them.
Okay.
Yeah. Or nobody wants them who they also want, which is, I think, the real issue. But then he goes on to say, they're getting a free ride via beta bucks and a broken sexual marketplace that is rigged in favor of females. That's not a rigged sexual marketplace. That's the state of nature. If anything, the sexual marketplace has been rigged slightly more not that it's in favor of males, but more towards favor of males by things like the welfare state that kind of remove.
I'm sorry. The welfare state pays women who can't afford to feed their children.
Yeah,
which
increases
it imprisons men who can't afford
that has nothing to do with the
raise
sexual
their children.
marketplace, though.
Well,
it's easier for a man to get laid because a woman knows that she can go around banging random men and she won't starve to death and neither her little kids.
Well, I mean, the most
welfare is really just a subsidization of sex to men. Not that the women are innocent, because they're absolutely not, but that is the economic conclusion that occurs.
It makes the male disposable in the family. So the cost of maybe getting laid a little bit more is you have zero value on the marriage market now.
More coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite is nutrition.
Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free.
New improved Lico Chops with omega-3, omega-6, vitamin E.
And now, 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink, like we have. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening at home anytime, anywhere, from your smartphone. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. Get your Blink camera system starting at less than $100 by visiting blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Marijuana has unleashed a green gold rush across our nation. It's creating $10.8 billion in new wealth a year. And every day, it's transforming more and more Americans into millionaires. Former Speaker of the House John Boehner reveals how you could become one of them. Join him online for the American Cannabis Summit. Attendance is 100% free, but space is limited. Join online at www.acs2018.com. John Boehner and an esteemed panel will reveal which cannabis stocks are primed to deliver life-changing windfalls. Plus, they will show you how to become a cannabis angel investor, backing the hottest startups before they potentially become worth billions of dollars.
To join the American Cannabis Summit, visit acs2018.com or text JOIN to 76280. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Text JOIN to 76280. Text JOIN to 76280 now.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free and take control of the airwaves here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We're talking about apparently incels. These so-called involuntarily celibates have apparently some of them have been reporting sex workers and or cam girls or various different types of people who make money on the internet, females who make money on the internet because they're not bad looking and men are willing to pay them to do things on the internet. They're mad about that, these incels. They've been reporting them to the IRS and whatever. It's actually a story from Australia, so maybe the Australian taxing authorities as well. It's apparently, the incel thing spans borders. There are, desperate, angry males all across the world who believe they're owed something because they were born, I guess, and they're mad about it. With you in the studio tonight, by the way, it's Ian.
Rich Paul.
And Melanie.
So just before we get back into the story, Melanie, I know that there was a comment in there about how the sexual marketplace is rigged. And I guess this is some kind of incel commenter, somebody with a Twitter account or something like that who said this?
I've never heard of this guy before. It's somebody who's in favor of reporting prostitutes.
But he's one of these incel guys, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't say.
What was his? Didn't they say he was like a rape advocate?
Yeah, they said that. A pickup
right.
artist and rape advocate,
Pickup
which doesn't
artist.
seem it would go together, but he made it work.
Right. So he says it's a rigged sexual marketplace in favor of women.
That's what he said.
And you guys were having a discussion about that?
Yeah, so I think that at least in the U.S., at least in some income brackets, it is rigged in this sense that it's not what the free market or nature would put in place, but to the extent that it is
What do you mean by
rigged,
that? What do you mean?
So if any incentive or disincentive inserted by the state is something other than what the free market or nature would
So
put
what
together.
incentives by the state are we talking about here?
So there's a lot of programs that will take away a lot of the risks of random sex or sex at all from women, not from men, which serves to increase the supply of sex from women.
You're talking
Because
you're talking about paying for babies? That kind of program?
Yeah, paying for babies or even paying for related health care or paying for even feticide is something that removes a lot of the risks of sex from women. And the obvious effect of that is that you're going to then increase the supply. If I have a product that's risky to provide and someone comes in and takes away most of that risks, there's still some risks. Like being pregnant is still dangerous. You still have to...
Well, I mean, but people
and gentlemen should pay for the abortion. Don't go to the state. If you're going to be a gentleman, you get somebody knocked up, and
If you
doesn't
made the
want to
mistake.
have it, at least pay for the abortion.
I know. I would
You
totally
know,
agree
do the
with
right
that.
thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but in the absence of the state, even if that's what you were going to do, you would have to vet people to find someone who's going to act that way. In the presence of the state, or at least the U.S. state as is, you don't have to, because you can rely on the state instead. Anytime I take away costs of producing a product, that's going to raise this, or risks of producing a product, that's going to raise the supply of that product.
I see what you're saying, but I don't know if it's going to be. I don't think it really like factors into what we're talking about, right? I mean, if we're talking about people who are having sex for money, those aren't people who are motivated by the fact that they could get a check from the government for having a baby. They don't want to have a baby. They don't want to get pregnant. Professional sex workers try to avoid getting knocked up.
Yeah, that doesn't have to do
Although
with
that is a niche.
remote
It is.
sex workers like cam girls and stuff like that, because that's not an issue.
Right.
But it does have to do with what he's saying, that the market has been rigged, and therefore we have all these sex workers.
I would not say that the market has been, the sexual marketplace, if you will, has been rigged for men or for women. I think it's been rigged for the traditional Judeo-Christian ideal that is, it is what it is. It's traditional family values. And, part of the reason that our civilization flourished is that there were some good practical results of things like come ask her dad before you marry her, because he's going to be thinking about how productive you'll be instead of, what his hormones are telling him.
Well, that's not a rigging of the marketplace. That's the marketplace. A rigging of a marketplace would have to be something external to the marketplace.
Well, remember, you're also you're on the one hand, you're claiming that the marketplace is rigged in favor of women because of welfare, but on the other hand,
I'm not. I'm arguing that it's rigged in favor of men's access, which is not necessarily to say that it is the things that men at the end of the day want. So yeah, there's a lot of negatives that come with that if you're a man. Family court and child support, and maybe you want somebody stable. So yeah, that doesn't mean it's in favor of you. It means it's in favor of the supply.
Okay, but the other thing is it's also rigged against supply because prostitution's illegal. So you take that out of the picture and supply goes way down, which is one of the reasons why some women don't want prostitution to be legal, because they know they'll then have more competition in the marketplace.
Well, the women who are more likely to be able to marry have an incentive to keep their less marriageable sisters from being able to take care of their potential husbands. They want a monopoly on the available male money out there, and they want to make sure of it, that they want to make sure that none of it goes to prostitutes who use a different form of payment. Because let's face it, marriage is prostitution. It is exactly an economic arrangement where you
it's a contract.
It's a contract, and although marital rape laws cloud the issue, non-consummation is still a way out of marriage, so that doesn't make it not a sexual contract. It just means you can't enforce the contract voluntarily. You just have to say this person's in breach and I'm leaving.
Right, and it's a different form of contract. Speaking of leaving, a prostitute leaves after you're done paying for the time, right? That's
exactly. And the thing is, if both were available to people, I think we would have a less insane society.
I think you're right.
I think people's
both are available to people,
but they're not. But they're not.
They are.
They're only available for the people who are willing to jump through whatever ridiculous hoops. I've never done it. I'm not interested in doing it, but I'm aware that some people like try to meet on Craigslist, and there's secret codes, and like, where would you go to meet a prostitute in Keene, New Hampshire?
I've never
Manchester.
looked. Yeah, Manchester, I guess.
I mean, do they have streetwalkers? Do you see streetwalkers in Manchester?
Oh, yeah, I chill with them. They're cool.
Yeah, I'm sure
they also
are.
have things like Tinder, which is the same thing.
That is a great market for libertarianism, too. They have the most reason. Frequently, they're drug addicts. A drug addict has to generate a huge amount of money in the drug war economy, and there are very few ways that you can do that if you're not of means.
Now, you just said Tinder is prostitution?
Yes.
What are the code words on Tinder?
You go to Tinder and you're like, I'm looking for a date, and then you buy some food and then you get laid.
Oh, so now you're saying dating is prostitution.
That's not dating, because you're not vetting anybody, you're not interviewing anybody. Tinder
it's
is not
not
a dating site. Tinder's a
Actually, the
hookup
reason
site.
I never use Tinder is because if I was going to use Tinder, I wouldn't be looking for a relationship, and just about everybody I've encountered on Tinder does claim to be looking for a relationship.
Okay,
really?
So
are
I don't
they
do
claiming
Tinder.
that, or is that what's actually occurring? Because that is not what I have heard from anyone else about Tinder.
I've seen both on Tinder. I've seen both. I've seen some that are clearly looking for hookups, which is sex, and I've seen some that are looking for a relationship, and I've seen others asking for money. So
if your arrangement is give me stuff and I will sleep with you,
that's prostitution. But that's not how a date normally works, right? Like, the date is where there's no guarantee.
Right.
The date is where you're spending money on a person, and then that's what people are ostensibly meeting on Tinder to do.
You're paying for the hope of sex rather than just paying for the sex.
Correct. Which is way less efficient.
So it's prostitution
Way
and
less
gambling.
efficient.
But
dating is a ripoff.
Yeah. So if you want to join the discussion here, our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Maybe you've been on these services and you can comment, on Tinder, were these actually prostitutes? Because I've heard that Tinder is more of a hookup app than anything else, but that there are people who will actually have certain
if it's a hookup app,
I mean,
then in most cases it's prostitution, because you're
it's
probably
not.
going
Not unless you're cutting a deal for services.
I mean, in some cases, they'll just show up, have sex with you, and leave. In
well,
which
then
case,
I guess that's not
there's
prostitution.
no quid pro
it's
quo.
not. Yeah, it's
so
not
it's not a
prostitution.
fair generalization. There may be prostitution through it, but it is not prostitution in and of itself.
All right, there's more coming up
There's
here.
nothing prostitution-y about Tinder.
Moments. If you want to join the show, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. We got time for you. Coming up, hour number 2 is next, and you can take control of the airwaves here on Free Talk Live.
Hearing a lot about CBD these days? Yes, but which CBD products can you trust? Which website can provide proper education about CBD along with high-quality products? The answer? CBDonly.com. CBD, or cannabidiol, is one of hundreds of compounds found in the cannabis plant and one that contains a variety of medicinal benefits. Many doctors are starting to recommend CBD to their patients as an alternative or supplement to some pharmaceutical medications. CBD is becoming widely known to relieve pain, inflammation, and anxiety. Unlike THC that is found in the plant, CBD does not have psychoactive effects. In other words, it does not give the effect of being high. All CBDonly.com products are lab tested to ensure the highest quality standards. Shop CBDonly.com for CBD oils, edibles, vapes, skincare, even CBD for your pets. That's CBDonly.com. And to receive 15% off your order on CBDonly.com, use discount code CBDNOW. Remember, shop for CBD products you can trust. Shop CBDonly.com, your CBD superstore.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, November 26th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.31 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,225 per ounce. Zen is trading at $6, and the average price of Bitcoin is $3,785. Antiwar.com reports tensions between Russia and Ukraine are once again soaring, with reports that Russia has seized 3 Ukrainian naval vessels off the coast of the Crimean Peninsula over the weekend. Crimea is de facto under Russian control, but Ukraine considers it part of their territory. Earlier in the day on Sunday, Ukraine accused Russian ships of ramming their tugboat in the Sea of Azov and opened fire on their gunships, entering 2. Russia claims that the Ukrainian ships were illegally in Russian waters at the time and that the sea was closed for security reasons. Ukraine, which has been talking up war with Russia for years, is quickly escalating, with the National Security and Defense Council planning a midnight session at which they intend to declare war on Russia and will urge Parliament to impose martial law across Ukraine, a vote which will happen Monday. What this declaration of war would mean remains to be seen, as Ukraine clearly lacks the military to fight a land war with Russia. The martial law measure would likely be a pretext to launch an attack on ethnic Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine. The boats involved in the incident were identified as a BK-02 Berdyansk and BK-03 Nikopol, 2 small Gyurza M-class artillery boats, and the Yani Kapu tugboat. Ukraine has a limited navy, particularly since the Crimean secession of 2014, as most of the naval assets held there were given to the Russian Federation. Zencash is now Horizon. Horizon is a privacy platform built on zero-knowledge technology with a decentralized secure node architecture. The Horizon platform enables real-life uses beyond currency, including the ability to privately chat with other people. Soon, Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. Horizon, bringing privacy to life. Learn more at horizon.global. HORIZEN.global. Reuters reports U.S. authorities shut the country's busiest border crossing and fired tear gas into Mexico on Sunday to repel Central American migrants approaching the U.S. border after President Donald Trump vowed the asylum seekers would not easily enter the country. Traffic in both directions was suspended for several hours at the San Ysidro port of entry between San Diego and Tijuana, according to U.S. officials, which disrupted trade at the most heavily trafficked land border in the Western Hemisphere. Pedestrian crossings and vehicle traffic later resumed, according to officials. Tensions on the border had been rising in recent days, with thousands of Central American migrants who arrived in a caravan camped out in a sports stadium in Tijuana. On Sunday, Mexican police broke up the latest in a series of daily protests, triggering a rush towards the U.S. border. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers stopped the migrants with a volley of canisters emitting large clouds of gas as U.S. and Mexican government helicopters clattered overhead. The Mexican government said it had retaken control of the border crossing after nearly 500 migrants tried to cross the U.S. border in a violent manner and vowed to immediately deport Central Americans who attempted to enter the U.S. illegally. Trump has raised alarm for weeks about the caravan of Central American migrants as it approached the United States, with its members planning to apply for asylum once reaching the country. The mostly Honduran migrants are fleeing poverty and violence and have said that they would wait in Tijuana until they could request asylum in the United States, despite growing U.S. measures to tighten the border. Hundreds of caravan members, including women and children, protested peacefully on Sunday with chants of "We aren't criminals, we are hard workers." As they neared the border, they were stopped by Mexican authorities who told them to wait for permission. Groups of migrants, some of them bearing the Honduran flag, broke off and headed towards the border fence, where U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers gathered on the other side, backed by U.S. military, San Diego police, and the California Highway Patrol. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection said on Twitter they responded with tear gas after the migrants threw projectiles. Trump had deployed military forces to the border to support the Border Patrol and threatened on Sunday to close the entire southern border. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spend a Bit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spend a Bit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Good morning. Later this afternoon, I will be engaging in an extramarital affair. Of course, I will wish that I had never made the horrible mistake I'm about to spend several hours making, but sadly, I'm currently too blinded by greed and lust to care about or consider the consequences of my actions. The liaison I will be taking part in shortly with two poor deaf teenage runaways is in direct opposition to the values you elected me to uphold. I also wish to apologize to my wife, Linda, to my two beautiful children, Allison and Christopher. It hurts me more than you will ever know that this scandal will impact your life so terribly. I can only pray that the revelations you will soon hear concerning my fetishes, physical flexibility, and penis will not scar you to the point of dementia. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get to the hotel immediately, so I will not be taking questions. Thank you.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. We're going to go to your phone calls and thoughts. We've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. We've been talking about sex workers, specifically sex workers being snitched out to the government by some desperate, some pathetic men on the internet. Apparently, some of them call themselves incels, involuntarily celibate. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Rich Paul,
and Melanie.
Let's go to Doug. He's starting things out here for us in hour number 2, listening in, I think, Louisiana. Doug, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, guys. Actually, I'm listening in Los Angeles. I don't know why that guy wrote Louisiana.
I apologize.
Yeah, but no problem. Thanks for taking my call. I'm a first-time caller, long-time listener.
Welcome.
The reason why I'm calling is because I think I have a problem.
Okay.
And I've had this problem since about 2006, and that happens to be the year that the movie it's called John Tucker Must Die came out. Have you heard of that movie?
No, I have not. Tell me about it.
Well, it's a movie with Brittany Snow, Sophia Bush, Ariel Kebbel, and Ashanti. And there are a bunch of 20-something-year-olds when this movie came out, but they're playing 17-year-olds.
Okay.
And in high school. And I got to tell you, every time I watch this movie, and I've watched it since 2006, I end up profusely and excessively masturbating. I mean, it's for some reason, I just find this to be the sexiest film
And
ever.
thank you for tuning to WTMI, the Too Much Information Station.
Yeah, we're not really that interested in your masturbatory habits, but what's the point of the story?
I don't know. I can't seem to stop masturbating.
All right. Well, thank you for the call tonight. Appreciate that. Thank you, Doug. I don't know. That sounds like a problem you might want to see a doctor
So
about.
if you have to, you should ask yourself, is this topic appropriate for the air? And if the answer is no, then probably that topic is appropriate for a therapist.
Toll-free number tonight, 855-450 free. Let's go to somebody who doesn't know about self-pleasuring. It's Sarah in New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Sarah.
Okay, now I want to ask if that's true. I'm sorry, I won't.
Well, the thing is that what did you ask me about? What you asked me the question?
Never mind, Sarah.
What was it?
We don't really want to know.
Yeah, let's keep those things off the air. But London is going to ban all junk food advertisement on the buses. And Mark, how do you guys feel about it?
Well, Mark's not even here right now, so clearly you're not actually listening to the show tonight. But your question is about London banning junk food ads?
Yeah, the advertisement on the buses.
Like junk food, including like McDonald's, including fast food, including bagged chips, soda pop. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Well, I wish I wish I knew exactly what junk food that they're talking about or what they're planning to ban. But that's the idea. Like I think soda pop and candy bars are definitely in the list. But whatever usually as a trend, whatever London does, it spreads to America really quick. We have similar cultures, and a lot of people go. We're close to London and England, so.
And they said where are these being banned from? Just the subway or where?
No, the advertisement on the buses. They wrap
Only
the
on
bus
buses.
with advertisement.
I see. Well, it's if it's a city-run bus, then I guess they technically can set whatever rules they want to. I don't know if that would fly here in the United States, given that there is supposed to be a protection for free speech.
It probably would.
But it
Do
probably
the
would
buses
fly
there.
No, the prohibition on
yeah, especially because buses are typical. There's not, as far as I know, a whole lot of private buses anymore, so they would have that argument too. I mean, banning things is. I'm against banning things, just in general, but
do you think it'll work, Sarah? Do you think that banning snack food advertisements on buses is going to actually decrease people's desire to eat sugary and delicious junk food treats?
Well, I'm all for it because we got started on the soda pop ban in America, so we just have to extend that idea. I would love to ban like candies, like Skittles and soda pop commercials. On TV, and I'm tired of looking at it because so many kids have diabetes and overweight problems with overconsumption of sugar. So if they could ban these commercials, I'd be all for it. Like along with the cigarette commercials.
So why don't I take control of your life? Do you eat meat?
Yes, I do.
Stop! I decided you can't eat meat anymore. Stop eating meat. I say so. What gives me the authority? Can you tell me that? What gives me the authority to make you stop eating meat?
Well, the thing is, the sugar has known to cause diabetes.
I don't care. What gives you the authority to tell me how to live? By what authority? Are you ordained by God to be his minister of diet?
How come they still? You know what? They stopped making cigarette candies because they know that.
No, they didn't. You can still buy them at the store, and they're called candy sticks.
But
See, here's the
what
problem.
gives you the right?
She'll never answer.
To take control of other people's lives. That's what I want to get to. What is the source of your authority? Can you answer me
the
that?
thing is, why should they allow bad things that people have known to be bad and advertise it?
Because your issue, well, first of all, because it's not nobody's business, but the second of all, that you're going to care about because it's only bad in doses. Anything that you consume in excess, including water, can have negative health effects up to including killing you. So the fact that you eat a bag of Skittles every now and then, that's not going to harm you. If you sit down and eat 3 bags of Skittles a day, you're probably going to die relatively quickly. So,
but even so, if you want to eat 3 bags of Skittles a day and die young, that's your right. And nobody has the authority to tell you differently. So what I still want to know is what gives you the right to take control of the lives of others? You're talking about doing violence against people if they don't do what you declare they should do. What gives you that right?
Well, if you're over adult, if you're a grown-up adult, that's fine. But like Captain Crunch, it's got
okay. I am a grown-up adult, so let's abandon the entire plan because most people are.
But the children, Rich, the children.
Okay, well, I'd like my children, if I ever have any, or if I've managed to scatter some semen to the wind out there, I hope that those children will grow up free.
And being able to choose to eat some Skittles.
And being able to choose.
Okay, look, they're advertising to kids colored marshmallows and tons of sugar. They just eat what looks cute, what's funny, and what tastes good, and it's killing them.
So maybe
you, as their parent, should take an active role in their life and maybe monitoring what they see in the environment that they live in. But guess what? You don't get to control the lives of others to suit your personal tastes. Other people have their own tastes, their own lives.
These advertisements are geared to sucker people in.
But advertisements aren't controlling anyone. You don't have to buy something just because there's an ad for it, especially if you're the parent of a child and your kid's like, I want Lucky Charms every day, and you can be like, no. Because your kid's not going to be able to get to the store and buy that many Lucky Charms.
Until they're 18, then they can buy all
if your kids want to eat something that's cute, cut apples in shapes for them, or bananas or oranges or whatever.
I wish she would have answered your question, Rich. She just doesn't like to answer questions. She's got her whatever it is she wants to bleed about, which is fine. It's open phones here. You can do that. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. She doesn't actually want to have a conversation where she has to answer for her beliefs. More coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink, like we have. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening at home anytime, anywhere, from your smartphone. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. Get your Blink camera system starting at less than $100 by visiting blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Several weeks after the car accident that resulted in the death of his longtime friend Matthew Abrams, local man Keith Bisbee told Onion reporters today that he isn't sure how much longer he should continue using the photo of his deceased friend as his profile picture on Facebook.
People can't really expect me to keep this up forever, right?
Bisbee told reporters he felt like he had done more than his part to preserve the young man's memory. Bisbee added, however, that he had no idea when to go about changing his profile picture.
I'm pretty sure nobody would judge me if I went ahead and changed the photo right now. Matt wouldn't expect me to still have a picture of him up. I mean, I wouldn't expect that of him. You know, I should just do it. Maybe I can go online later tonight when nobody's on. But his girlfriend gets home late from work. I don't really want to seem disrespectful. Maybe I could do it tomorrow morning, or...
At this time, Bisbee has reluctantly changed his profile picture to an image of a gay rights equal sign and is, quote, just waiting to see what happens next.
This is the Onion News Network.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You may dial toll-free and take control of the airwaves to bring up pretty much whatever it is that you want that won't get our radio stations taken off the air. There's a certain range of things that we just can't talk about. But with you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Rich Paul,
and Melanie.
So your property and your family are pretty important. So why not protect them with Blink? Like we've done here at the LRN studios. Mark, one of our normal co-hosts on Monday night, has this set up at his house. It is a great little motion-activated HD camera system. These are wireless cameras, which means the setup is super fast. You unbox the Blink system, go to blinkprotect.com/FTL. It's delivered to your home. Unbox it, put the batteries in. And by the way, those batteries last up to 2 years. They're just normal AA batteries. Put the batteries in and then put the cameras up wherever it is you want them around your house and set it all up with your Wi-Fi enabled device. It is super easy to do. In fact, I don't think it could get much easier than what they've come up with. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. That's because Blink is an Amazon company. They bought Blink a couple years back. Get your Blink cameras starting at less than $100 by going to blinkprotect.com/FTL. It's blinkprotect.com/FTL as we go to your calls and thoughts here, and then we can talk more about apparently incels are targeting these so-called involuntarily celibates, targeting sex workers, targeting cam girls, targeting people on the internet who do, make money from their appearance and sexuality. Let's go first, though, to Kevin in Virginia, listening online. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, I just wanted to talk about Bitcoin, but I guess in general, cryptocurrencies.
All right.
I think you guys are aware that Bitcoin has just gone down tremendously.
It has. Over the last couple of weeks, it's down thousands of dollars. It's gone from around $6,500 to $3,500. I think it scraped that low today.
Yeah, and what's ironic is that Bitcoin, it arose following the financial crisis of 2008. And what's ironic is that, we had these quantitative easing injections, which is, it's just a fancy way of saying inflation.
Correct.
But this is what caused the boom in cryptocurrencies. And what I saw last week was a lot of cryptocurrency service companies like Square.com and a bunch of other services that sell GPUs, which I think is used for mining.
Yeah, graphics processors. Yep.
Yeah, these companies they're down. I mean, they're on the verge of becoming bankrupt. And this is what von Mises would call malinvestments. And this is typical of, again, the boom. And now that the Fed is starting to raise interest rates, malinvestments always get exposed. We saw this with the housing market. Now we're seeing this with the everything bubble, right? And Bitcoin, unfortunately, was part of that bubble. And I sympathize with a lot of hardcore libertarians, a lot of anarcho-capitalists, because that was that was a message to the man, right? It was a message to the central bankers of the world saying, you know what, we're not going to take your fiat currency. We got Bitcoin, and on top of that, we're going to get rich out of this. Right? That's the sign that this whole thing was an irrational exuberance. A lot of people are saying that, hey, Bitcoin is just like the .com bubble. It's not, because the .com bubble, again, it was caused by Greenspan causing inflation, but at least those companies, they had a business profit model. Bitcoin doesn't have anything. Not just Bitcoin, but again, other cryptocurrencies.
Well, let me cut you off right there, just for a moment, because just to put a little perspective to what you're saying, I bought my Bitcoin at 1,000. I sold a lot of it at 15,000, and now it's at 3,000, I'm understanding. So I'm up 300% on what I still hold. How are your investments doing?
No,
I've tripled my money on what I put into Bitcoin in the first place, even now at the low. So we should not be singing dirges here. This is not the time for sackcloth and ashes.
Yeah, and to compare,
there's only a 300% gain.
And if I may, to compare Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, but Bitcoin specifically, since that's what we're talking about, to compare it to private companies is not fair, because it's not a company. Bitcoin is just code. It's just an idea.
I actually kind of differ on that. I look at Bitcoin as being almost a distributed company, where basically you're paying them to provide the service of processing transactions, and it's almost a company that trades in its own stock. But I realize that's not the traditional way of looking at it.
It's a strange way.
The value of Bitcoin by processing transactions, and then benefit by the value of from the value of Bitcoin.
It is a there's a loose organization of miners that are out there mining Bitcoin, but they are doing it out of their own self-interest, most of them, because they're able to turn a profit on the activity of mining. Otherwise, most of them would leave that particular activity. But nobody hired them in. Nobody told them nobody can tell you can't mine, and nobody can tell you that they don't want you anymore or whatever. There's nobody who's in charge of that situation. People just kind of come and go,
and
as
that's
they please.
why I say a distributed company, which is very different than the hierarchical company that we've looked at up until this point. It's kind of it's a completely new concept.
So yeah, it's still comparing. Even if you want to talk about it that way, you're still comparing apples to oranges, because it's such a different structure. It's not at all the same as a privately run company that lives or dies based on its CEO's decisions and boards of directors and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could just add,
sure.
I guess what I mean is the people who hodl Bitcoin, the people who
they hold,
they hold Bitcoin. Those people are look, they're on the verge of taking massive hits. The people who sold out early, that's great, right? You don't be a pig and get slaughtered, right? That's what these people are on the verge of becoming. They're about to
Well,
get
you're
slaughtered.
predicting the future, so you're predicting that Bitcoin is going to continue to fall, and you're not the only one. I know Aria DeMezzo, who's one of the co-hosts on Call to Freedom, that's the afternoon drive show on LRN.FM, she's predicting $500 Bitcoin. So you're predicting a huge bloodbath, even worse than it's already been as far as the price going down. But again, everybody's prediction's worth about the same to me, which is to say absolutely nothing. I mean, anybody can make a dire prediction, and anybody can make a rosy prediction about the future or the immediate future of Bitcoin. I happen to believe that over time it's going to continue to trend upward because it is very useful. It does what it says it's going to do, and it is essentially the next, I think, the evolution of money here in the world, and I think it's a very, very important idea. So, I mean, it almost sounds like you're reveling in its failure, Kevin.
Well, if I can just add, I think what money really is, it's essentially by the regression theorem, which was again it's an Austrian concept. Money has always been gold and silver, and it's been gold and silver because the market.
It hasn't always been gold and silver. I mean, gold and silver goes back a long ways, but I mean, I think they were using like shells before gold and silver. There were always things.
Yeah, exactly.
A means of exchange. I'll let you hang on, Kevin, if you want to continue that point, because I'm not sure where you're going with it, talking about how money's always been gold and silver to your mind. What's the point? Does that mean money can't evolve? More coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
We know you've had Dragon's Breath in the morning, but you've got to experience Dragon's Breath at night. Wolf Hill Ammo's Dragon's Breath, an incendiary shotgun round in 12 gauge, 20 gauge, and a 410 with an amazing muzzle flash and a fireball that launches up to 125 yards. Pure fun to shoot. At Wolf Hill Ammo, we love shotguns and offer the best specialty shotgun ammo on the market. Visit wolfhillammo.com to see our large selection of specialty shotgun ammo at great prices with flat rate shipping. wolfhillammo.com.
The United States of Empire is a book that claims the United States is the empire of the world. George Washington had warned us against foreign wars. The United States of Empire shows that World Wars I and II left England broken. Its former colony, the U.S., had to save the empire. Was there ever a vote? Who do we fight for? The deep state began with World War I. The United States of Empire by James Dunn. Available at Amazon Books.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free. If you want to take control of the airwaves, you can do that. Bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number here, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And also the Discord on-air call-in line room is available. There's actually 4 of them, so jump into any one of those over at discord.lrn.fm. If you're not on our Discord server yet, well, you're missing out. There's conversations going on all around the clock, whether it's before, during, or after Free Talk Live. In the middle of the night, there's people on the server. Hundreds of people are registered, and the majority of them come back. Within the last 30 days, last time I looked, 600 out of our 800 members at the time had come back to the server in the last 30 days. So we've got good retention because people are enjoying chatting with one another there at discord.lrn.fm. Plus, if you're a liberty-minded person, you probably have been looking for something like a lot of us have. You've been looking for a libertarian business directory that's actually useful, that's actually usable, and finally, it has been created. It is liberty.menu. Just go to liberty.menu and you can look up other libertarians and the thing that they do, whatever their business happens to be. As long as they put it on liberty.menu, it'll be there. And if you've got a thing that you do and you want other liberty-minded folks, whether they be anarchists or voluntarists or however they self-describe, if you want them to know about your business, or maybe you've got an event that you're putting on, or perhaps you're a digital content creator, you can put all of those categories of things on liberty.menu. But you do have to be an individual who rejects the initiation of force and agrees to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. Otherwise, you don't qualify, you don't belong there. But if you are somebody who believes in those things, you do belong at liberty.menu. Go and check that out. Use code FTL. You get a special Free Talk Live listener badge at liberty.menu. With you in the studio tonight, it's me, Ian.
Rich Paul.
And Melanie.
So, unfortunately, our caller dropped off the line. I was kind of hoping we could keep him on to continue having a critical viewpoint towards Bitcoin. He was calling into... it almost sounded as though he was reveling in Bitcoin's tumbling from its high point. Of course, about a year ago, its high price point in December of 2017 hit about $19,000-$20,000 US, in that range for one Bitcoin. It, since that point, has been slowly coming down. It went down to 8,000 and then 5,000 and then kind of held at around 6,500 for a few months up until just a couple of weeks ago when it started to fall yet again. And over the past few days, it's fallen even further down to around $3,700, which is where it is today. And as you pointed out, Rich, you got a Bitcoin at $1,000 and then sold it at near its peak. But even if you hadn't, you'd
sold some of it.
Yeah, you'd still be 3 times up on what it's worth today than as compared to when you got it. And by the way, Bitcoin was $1,000, actually less than $1,000 just 2 years ago. So when you look at the current price of Bitcoin, it's important to put it in perspective. We're talking about a Bitcoin price from the summer of 2017. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
a year ago.
Mean, if you're really crying about the position of Bitcoin, I invite you to go on the internet and look at a 5-year chart.
Sure.
I think look at it from its beginning and
Right.
see how it's doing, because Bitcoin was never meant to be a get-rich-quick scheme, and it was never meant to be an investment vehicle. It was meant to be a medium in which people can trade. And people can trade in it just fine
Without
the way
asking
it is.
permission.
So I don't care. In terms of the health of Bitcoin, I don't give a I don't know if I can say that.
You can
but
say
I
damn. I don't give a damn.
Okay, I don't give a damn about its price. I want to know about its utility. And its utility is a lot better now than it was when it was at 18,000 and the network was jammed.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Yeah, that was when Bitcoin was in trouble. Bitcoin isn't in trouble now, but let's not forget what it is. It's not an investment vehicle. Go out and let's do some Bitcoin projects,
Well, that said, even though it wasn't intended as an investment vehicle, it has been, as I understand it, the best investment in the last decade.
Oh, yeah.
As far as, comparing it to other investments, even with all the price volatility, it's still been the best investment in the last decade. So while that wasn't Satoshi Nakamoto's, perhaps that wasn't his intention, that is ultimately one of the reasons why people have gotten into it. And there are a bunch of reasons why people will get into Bitcoin, and they're all fine reasons. Like some people actually want to have a cryptocurrency because it allows them to, as you're pointing out, send value from point A to point B in basically an instant across the world with next to no cost. So you've cut out all of the costs of the Western Unions and the MoneyGrams and these banks, the credit card companies that get in there and get a cut of the action every time money changes hands. Bitcoin's cutting out the middleman. And there's incredible value. Anytime you can, in the marketplace, right? Anytime you can cut a middleman out, you want to. Right, because it always means you get that much closer to the original source, the best price, maybe the best service. We don't know about that, but certainly best price of whatever it is that you're looking to get. So if you can cut out the middleman on money, well, then you're cutting out that middleman from all of the financial transactions involving Bitcoin. So every financial transaction right now, I don't know how many of them there are. There's thousands in any single, few minutes, right? There's Bitcoin transactions are going constantly. Every single one of those transactions, those have cut out the middleman. There was no money transmitter involved. There was no Western Union stepping in the way. There was no tax bureaucrat standing there with their hand out and a gun pointed at you because they can't touch these transactions.
Yeah, and you can still drive across the country with $1 million worth of Bitcoin in your phone, and if you get pulled over, the police can't take it.
They don't know about it.
Exactly. It's not even really with you. There's no question of can you take your Bitcoin out of the country.
That's true.
Because if you leave the country and you start ordering things to be sent to where you are, or where you are not for that matter, it doesn't matter. When did the Bitcoin leave the country?
It never did.
It's on the net.
Right. The Bitcoin is distributed. It's decentralized. It's on a blockchain, which is essentially a public ledger that exists in thousands of locations. I think over 10,000 locations currently have the full Bitcoin blockchain on them, which means that whenever a transaction is made on the Bitcoin network, it exists in all of those 10,000 locations. It's essentially on the cloud. Bitcoin doesn't exist in any one place, and that's one of the reasons why the government can't take it down. They can't just target some server farm, in the middle of wherever and get rid of Bitcoin like they could with, say, PayPal or Visa or something like that.
Exactly. They have to target all the server farms simultaneously.
It's impossible.
All over the world.
It's impossible because to find all 10,000 Bitcoin nodes would be a ridiculous, impossible task because I'm sure some of them are hidden behind Tor nodes. I'm sure some of them have done some level of obscuring to their location. So even if the U.S. government could somehow coordinate a multi-jurisdictional coordinated attack on as many of the Bitcoin nodes as they possibly could, Russia, China, you name every single, whatever jurisdiction of some government in the world, to somehow get them all on the same page with raiding all the Bitcoin servers, all the Bitcoin full nodes, it's impossible.
It would be difficult. None of these idiots play well with others.
Yeah,
really.
They don't.
I mean, they pretend to cooperate.
Yeah, sometimes the U.S. government's own policing agencies don't play well with one another. You certainly aren't going to get Russia and China, on the same page as the United States to do some sort of coordinated attack on Bitcoin. And again, that also leaves out the other 175 or however many other nations. I don't know how many of them have Bitcoin nodes. There's actually maps you can go and look. You can actually get an idea for the world distribution of Bitcoin nodes because most of them are public, and so you could find out where. If you wanted to do the work, you could find out where a bunch of them are. But as soon as the word started, as soon as the word got out that Bitcoin nodes were being raided, there's going to be a bunch of other people who put them online.
Yeah, and there's also going to be a huge Streisand effect from that.
Right.
As the Bitcoin crackdown. What crackdown? What's Bitcoin?
Exactly. So the point of all this is that the haters have been hating on Bitcoin. The people have been saying bankers and all these old money people have been saying Bitcoin's, it's a fad, it's a failure, it's a scam, it's a Ponzi. There's all kinds of accusation leveled against it. Bitcoin will continue to rise above all of that and will continue to do what it says it's going to do.
Yeah. And it could just be a fulfillment of a prophecy I made a couple years ago on the show.
Really?
I'll come back.
All right, we'll get back to that here. Rich Paul's prophecy. The toll-free number here, 855-450, free if you want to join us here. It's Free Talk Live.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink, like we have. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening at home anytime, anywhere, from your smartphone. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. Get your Blink camera system starting at less than $100 by visiting blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.Global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.Global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses in our setup page, and then load our app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.Global. That's AnyPay.Global.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality grill, only at slingbow.com.
Has your body ever gone low blood sugar, feeling weak, shaky, knowing you better eat something fast? We all know high blood sugar can lead to many metabolic problems. At GCNteam.com, we have a healthy blood sugar pack, focusing on the structure and function of stable blood sugar. Find us at GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Nothing feels worse than unstable blood sugar. Call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be. I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial in here, the toll-free number for you to take control of the airwaves. If you want to join us on the radio, it's 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. If you want to get graphic, however, with certain descriptions of whatever things we can't say on the radio, we do now have a new show on Tuesday nights that we launched last week. We're calling it Freer Talk Live, where we're going to exclusively be broadcasting a video version of an after show on the Twitch platform. So last week we did it once, and it was fun. We ended up talking about everything from there was like a religious debate between Mark and Vincent, who were here on the show with me, and then we got into some very graphic sexual talk that we definitely can't say on the radio. I don't even want to say what. I don't even know if I want to scratch the surface on what it was about. But
they just couldn't stop.
But it was there, and you can go to twitch.lrn.fm, and you can watch the archive there on our Twitch channel in the videos, the collections section of the videos there. And we're gonna do another one tomorrow night. So Tuesday night, I don't know if it's going to keep going on Tuesday nights. Maybe we're going to move it to a different night or kind of move it around. But we are going to continue the Freer Talk Live after show, because on Twitch we're not censored by the FCC. We don't have radio stations on, so it's an exclusive internet-only kind of show. So if you're looking for that kind of content, uncensored, completely, no FCC around, then check us out tomorrow night at 10 o'clock at night Eastern Time, right after the radio show ends. So again, we are always on Twitch during our radio shows, but then after 10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to go Twitch only, and then the shackles are off, so to speak. So we were talking about Bitcoin. Rich, you said you made a prophecy here on the radio a couple of years ago regarding Bitcoin. What was
Well, let
was
me
that
not
about?
call it a prophecy, but a hypothesis.
Okay.
I remember saying a couple of years ago that there is one obvious attack that the Federal Reserve had against Bitcoin, and it was an economic attack based on the fact that they have an infinite access to dollars. And so what I said was one thing that they could do is pump it and dump it and pump it and dump it. So you buy up a whole lot very fast. That's the
Drive
pump.
the price up.
Hopefully you pull in some suckers with you to drive it up even further. Then you sell off your stock slowly but surely over time to depress the price. And so people see it most of the time as a falling commodity. Now, the problem with this approach is if people are smart and when they see a huge spike in Bitcoin, like as soon as I put $1,000, I had like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin when I started.
Yep.
And once that got up to like $6,000, I immediately pulled $1,000 of it out.
So that way you're up 100% on everything.
Exactly.
From that point on.
I'm playing with the house's money. After that, I don't care.
Right.
Now I wish I'd liquidated the whole pot at the top, but nobody knows where the
You never
top
know.
is.
Yeah.
But what you do know is if the underlying mechanism continues to be useful, and I believe that it does, then it will be used. And what's going to cause the price of Bitcoin to rise is more people wanting Bitcoin.
That's true.
Demand. So we're getting out the idiot speculators. They're out of the market, or maybe most of them are. But what we need to get in is people who are using the system, because people will trade in the currency if they believe that the community of people who trades in the currency will return them things of the value for the currency in the future.
And they seem to be doing that. There's a lot of things you can buy with cryptocurrency, not just online, but around here in New Hampshire, you can do it in real life. We could go grab drinks after the show tonight, pay with Dash or Bitcoin if we wanted to.
Absolutely. And, I really think that an important thing is going to be for that to expand. We need regular gas stations where we can buy gas for Bitcoin. Okay,
it needs to happen.
That would be a very important thing to me, because
there was
that's
one.
One of the things.
There was one, but he went under. Unfortunately, it was in the northern part of the state. It was, not a whole lot of business around in the North Country, as they call it, here in New Hampshire. And unfortunately, he went out of business.
And that's the thing. I've seen a lot of people who have moved into northern New Hampshire find it's a lot more difficult than than they think.
Yeah.
And if you're listening from northern New Hampshire and you're in that position, I would say, hey, why don't you check out Manchurkeen or don't blow the state. There's still a lot going on in New Hampshire.
Yeah, if you're going to move, if you're looking at the New Hampshire freedom migration, which is the reason why the three of us are here together, it's the reason why we know each other, is because we all moved here as part of that freedom migration. If you're looking at it, northern New Hampshire, definitely a beautiful place. I mean, the White Mountains, incredible views, very, very nice place to live as far as the prettiness. But there's just not a whole lot of business up there. There's not a lot of action. There's not a lot of economic activity. It's fairly depressed from what I understand in that realm. I mean, they have some tourism, but that's about it. There used to be like a logging company, a couple of them, they went under, and a lot of people lost their jobs. Berlin is the so-called city up in the northern part of the state, and it's basically like the Detroit of New Hampshire, meaning, and I'm not saying it's like crime-ridden, I'm saying that its housing prices have fallen through the floor because there was a huge exodus of people out of that town. And it's still that way a decade plus later. So if you're looking for cheap property and you can work remotely, the North Country, I think, would be fine. As long as you've got an internet connection, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to open up a retail establishment, you don't want to be in the North Country.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Hopefully, maybe those low housing prices will allow people to do some urban homesteading.
They're cheap, man. You can pick up a house for a couple $10,000, $20,000. You can get like a multi-room, multi-family home for $30,000 or $40,000, like a humongous 3-story. Massive. I mean, check it out. Go to Zillow.com. I mean, they're not a sponsor or anything like that, but it's a really nice website that lets you see at a glance what prices, housing prices are.
I'm envisioning a building full of cam girls now.
To cycle back around to our topic, which we were in the middle of early. I think it was the first hour of the show. I don't know if we've actually talked about it since then. But Melanie, you had shared part of a story. I think we'd just gotten into a comment from an incel commentator, somebody who has apparently he's a pickup artist and a rape advocate, which doesn't make any sense at all, but that's apparently how he's being described. I don't know if he describes himself as that. We don't know who this person is.
I haven't researched him, but I mean, the point of the story is not, him and how horrible a person he is.
Yeah. He's just a horrible person they interviewed for the story.
Yeah.
This is about incels who are targeting cam girls and other sex workers by snitching them out to the IRS and other taxing agencies. Did you have more from that story?
Yeah. So then there was one poster on the 4chan image board wrote that. So
4chan's behind this?
Well, they're involved.
They're involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a high percentage of incels on 4chan?
I don't know.
Need you ask?
I don't spend any time there, so I mean, I don't. I could guess.
Well, I mean, 4chan has been described as weaponized autism, so that probably doesn't go well with a healthy dating life.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so a poster on 4chan image board wrote that it now stood for that hoe owes taxes. Online cam girls reported being targeted for their premium Snapchat and Instagram services, exchanging nudes, photos for payments. And then a worker on one of these websites posted, PSA to any of my friends who run premium Snapchats, there's a wave of guys reporting them to the IRS for tax fraud. And one Twitter user wrote, please be careful. I know sex work is hard enough. Yeah, so basically they're just reporting people for tax fraud, even though there's no evidence of that.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to point out here, is that really this is just a bunch of internet people who are angry, who want to feel like they're doing something to get back at this class of people that they're super jealous of, obviously. I mean, who wouldn't want to get paid for sitting around playing video games all day, or for sitting around, on a camera all day? I mean, really, the girl on Twitch.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't want to get paid to just sit on, and play a video game all day? So a lot of people would want that.
I wouldn't want that many people up in my grill.
Yeah.
No, I'm not down.
There are a lot of parts
You're
of
on
this.
the radio. I mean, it's not like you live a seclusive life.
But I mean, I come here, I'm here for a couple hours, and I leave. I definitely don't want to be on camera. I mean, it's all I can do to contain myself for the time I'm on this show, from, causing a scene or an international incident or an FCC problem.
International incident.
And, I can't have it all the time.
So, but in this case, you've got some very jealous young men here who are reporting these girls and feeling good about themselves for it, when the reality is nothing's going to happen out of this. The reports are going to get thrown away. These are not high value targets. More coming up.
Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Marijuana has unleashed a green gold rush across our nation. It's creating $10.8 billion in new wealth a year. And every day, it's transforming more and more Americans into millionaires. Former Speaker of the House John Boehner reveals how you could become one of them. Join him online for the American Cannabis Summit. Attendance is 100% free, but space is limited. Join online at www.acs2018.com. John Boehner and an esteemed panel will reveal which cannabis stocks are primed to deliver life-changing windfalls. Plus, they will show you how to become a cannabis angel investor, backing the hottest startups before they potentially become worth billions of dollars.
To join the American Cannabis Summit, visit acs2018.com or text JOIN to 76280. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Text JOIN to 76280. Text JOIN to 76280 now.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, November 26th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.31 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,225 per ounce. Zen is trading at $6, and the average price of Bitcoin is $3,785. Antiwar.com reports tensions between Russia and Ukraine are once again soaring, with reports that Russia has seized 3 Ukrainian naval vessels off the coast of the Crimean Peninsula over the weekend. Crimea is de facto under Russian control, but Ukraine considers it part of their territory. Earlier in the day on Sunday, Ukraine accused Russian ships of ramming their tugboat in the Sea of Azov and opened fire on their gunships, injuring 2. Russia claims that the Ukrainian ships were illegally in Russian waters at the time and that the sea was closed for security reasons. Ukraine, which has been talking up war with Russia for years, is quickly escalating, with the National Security and Defense Council planning a midnight session at which they intend to declare war on Russia and will urge Parliament to impose martial law across Ukraine, a vote which will happen Monday. What this declaration of war would mean remains to be seen, as Ukraine clearly lacks the military to fight a land war with Russia. The martial law measure would likely be a pretext to launch an attack on ethnic Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine. The boats involved in the incident were identified as a BK-02 Berdyansk and BK-03 Nikopol, 2 small Gyurza M-class artillery boats, and the Yani Kapu tugboat. Ukraine has a limited navy, particularly since the Crimean secession of 2014, as most of the naval assets held there were given to the Russian Federation. Zencash is now Horizon. Horizon is a privacy platform built on zero-knowledge technology with a decentralized secure node architecture. The Horizon platform enables real-life uses beyond currency, including the ability to privately chat with other people. Soon, Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. Horizon, bringing privacy to life. Learn more at horizon.global. HORIZEN.global. Reuters reports U.S. authorities shut the country's busiest border crossing and fired tear gas into Mexico on Sunday to repel Central American migrants approaching the U.S. border after President Donald Trump vowed the asylum seekers would not easily enter the country. Traffic in both directions was suspended for several hours at the San Ysidro port of entry between San Diego and Tijuana, according to U.S. officials, which disrupted trade at the most heavily trafficked land border in the Western Hemisphere. Pedestrian crossings and vehicle traffic later resumed, according to officials. Tensions on the border had been rising in recent days, with thousands of Central American migrants who arrived in a caravan camped out in a sports stadium in Tijuana. On Sunday, Mexican police broke up the latest in a series of daily protests, triggering a rush towards the U.S. border. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers stopped the migrants with a volley of canisters emitting large clouds of gas as U.S. and Mexican government helicopters clattered overhead. The Mexican government said it had retaken control of the border crossing after nearly 500 migrants tried to cross the U.S. border in a violent manner and vowed to immediately deport Central Americans who attempted to enter the U.S. illegally. Trump has raised alarm for weeks about the caravan of Central American migrants as it approached the United States, with its members planning to apply for asylum once reaching the country. The mostly Honduran migrants are fleeing poverty and violence and have said that they would wait in Tijuana until they could request asylum in the United States, despite growing U.S. measures to tighten the border. Hundreds of caravan members, including women and children, protested peacefully on Sunday with chants of "We aren't criminals, we are hard workers." As they neared the border, they were stopped by Mexican authorities who told them to wait for permission. Groups of migrants, some of them bearing the Honduran flag, broke off and headed towards the border fence, where U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers gathered on the other side, backed by U.S. military, San Diego police, and the California Highway Patrol. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection said on Twitter they responded with tear gas after the migrants threw projectiles. Trump had deployed military forces to the border to support the Border Patrol and threatened on Sunday to close the entire southern border. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
In a statement this week, famed actor and television icon Dick Van Dyke confessed to being the Zodiac Killer, responsible for terrorizing Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The 85-year-old actor, known for his television and film appearances in classics such as Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Mary Poppins, and The Dick Van Dyke Show, said he committed the Zodiac murders but also killed over 37 additional people. Van Dyke said, quote, "It was unbelievably easy for me to go kill someone, come back to Burbank, and get on set. It was actually part of the fun to see if I could book a flight and make it back in time." Van Dyke's confession is corroborated by several eyewitnesses describing the Zodiac Killer as, quote, "a gangly, loose-limbed man with a toothy grin and a spring in his step." In other news, the open dialogue two Americans are having about race is pretty hilarious. A husband is experimenting with an open marriage, and a f***ing loser is at a movie all by himself. This episode of The Onion Week in Review was paid for, funded, and entirely created by The Onion, and in no way benefited from cheap, thankless viewers like you. For more, keep checking theonion.com.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here as we launch into the third hour of this program. Kicking off another week of fun in the studio with you tonight. It's Ian,
Rich Paul,
and Melanie.
We've been talking about on and off throughout the show here tonight the incel rebellion, where there's these angry, sexually frustrated seems like I think it's mostly
Just
males.
take care of each other, guys. Just do it.
Yeah, so there seems to be some people who are reporting them because they feel like they should be sleeping with them instead of their clients.
Hold on, whoa, there's too many thems here. We hadn't explained what's going on yet. The incels, the involuntarily celibate people, are apparently now, some of them are reporting sex workers because they're jealous that they can make money from having sex. They're jealous that they're having sex at all. They're jealous that they're making money from being on a video camera on the internet. And they're actually reporting them to the IRS or whatever other taxing government agency there might be in the country in which they believe the person lives. So that's what's happening.
Yeah, so they're being reported. Some people that are reporting them are reporting them because they think they should be providing services to them instead of their clients. Some people are reporting the workers because they don't like the idea of prostitutes and they are sex workers, and they want to enforce family values by giving more power to the IRS and federal government, which is a really weird concept that they're going to have to walk me through. And some of them are reporting, some people who are reporting them are reporting them because they just assume that all sex workers are leftists, and therefore, if you like the state, then you should have more state forced upon you. Which, if you're even going to make that argument, you kind of need to vet individuals to be like, oh, does this person support taxation? Which, don't do that anyway, but
well, and part of this
even make that argument
is also the slave-on-slave violence, right? Where people who are abused will then dish out abuse. Right, the kind of the cycle of abuse. Oh well, these incels, they have to be, they're being taxed at whatever job it is that they've got. They don't like paying taxes, but damn it, if they have to pay taxes, then so does everybody else, and anybody else that is successfully not paying taxes. And again, we don't know whether these cam girls are or are not, and they don't know either. They're just reporting them to try to make their lives more difficult. But regardless, these people are jealous, and they feel like, oh well, if somebody else out there is not paying taxes and I have to pay taxes, even though I don't like taxes, I'm going to report them and make them have to pay taxes because everybody needs to pay taxes if I pay taxes. It's a crazy...
Yeah, and you don't, just because somebody has a business online, whether it's a business you like or not, and they have it advertised on their Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, that you don't know they're not filing taxes. They could be filing taxes. Like, you don't know that, but then if you report them, if you happen to get their real name and info, which
they can probably figure out because these guys are pretty crafty.
Yeah, so maybe they can, even if they're filing taxes and they're filing taxes completely legally, that's still going to be all kinds of hell that you don't want to go through when somebody calls the IRS on you. Some woman said she was audited. Maybe she's filing everything legally. You still don't want to go through an audit. You still don't want to have to go through being reported to the IRS.
Now, they're not going to tell you
or not.
If you're getting an audit, they're not going to say...
Snitches get stitches, guys. Snitches get stitches.
They're not going to tell you when you get an audit that, oh, well, such and, we got a report. They're just going to say, we're auditing you, right?
Yeah.
So this woman who was audited may have just been a random
audit.
But
if somebody messages you and says, I'm auditing you, which is I'm reporting you to the IRS, which is the screenshots that she provided, and then a month later you get audited by the IRS and you haven't had problems before, that's not an unfair conclusion.
I see that.
But then again, it's not unlikely that if somebody sends emails to 100,000 sex workers saying, I'm reporting you to the IRS, it could well be that one of that 100,000 will get randomly audited and make the conclusion of a connection where there isn't one.
Okay, so the defense is it's just terrorism, not narcissism.
I'm sorry, y'all both talked at the same time.
Okay.
Can one take a turn?
Well,
so the defense that you're putting forth is that it's just terrorism, not all-out narking.
It's not a defense. I mean, these guys need bitch smacking either way it goes. But I'm just saying that their 4chan is traditionally clever. I mean, the whole thing they did with the OK sign, that was a brilliant troll.
This isn't limited
and it
to
was
4chan.
Extremely cheap. And that's the thing. The cheapest thing to do is to send these girls messages online and put them in a tizzy. The more expensive thing to do is actually find out if they're doing tax fraud, actually find out who they really are, and then call up the IRS and tell them about it. It's easier just to be an idiot online.
Right. And look, the fact is, from what I understand, and maybe it wasn't you that told me this, but as I understand it, the IRS is much more likely to go after a high-value target, somebody like a Wesley Snipes, somebody that they can take down, make a spectacle about taking that person down, or even if they're not a big name, take down somebody that's worth a lot of money.
Right, yeah, so people
or
who
maybe
are...
the only black voice speaking out against the income tax system. Not the only,
Wesley
but
Snipes.
one of the only black voices speaking out against the income tax system.
Yeah.
Sure.
So people who have political target value and people who have a lot of zeros behind their name or behind their income are more likely to get targeted and audited. That does not mean that regular people don't get audited, because they do. If someone's actually... It is exceedingly rare for somebody without a personal vendetta to report you to the IRS.
Yeah.
Most of the reports
I've had people
to the
have reported
IRS,
me.
Yeah, most of the reports to the IRS come from either ex-employees or ex-spouses. Like, it has to be that personal.
I suspect
because
I know
people
who-
hate the
yeah.
even if they hate you, they hate the IRS more, even hardcore statists.
Somebody one year sent me a piece of mail when I was at the Porcupine Freedom Festival, and inside the mail, because you could, it's just a campground, so somebody sent me some mail there, and inside that was a copy of an IRS snitch form filled out that had been sent, purportedly, a copy of it had been sent to the IRS. And so it's not the first time somebody said that about me. And, obviously you get on the radio and you talk about not paying taxes, as I have talked about many a time. And some snitch
Yeah, so it's
decided
not
they were going to bring their
unlikely
attention
that
to it.
if someone actually goes through the trouble of reporting you, that you'll get audited. That's not unlikely. So, yeah, just a regular person doing something, small income, I mean, you could get audited, but...
I'm saying here
Probably
it's
not.
unlikely that these reports are going to get these people audited because they don't have any evidence. It's just another piece of paper coming into an IRS bureaucrat, which they probably get thousands
If
of.
they're not reporting this income and they have evidence that they're running the site, then they do have evidence
What is the evidence that they would have?
that they're producing income at all.
Okay,
the
but what's
IRS knows whether or not they're filing it, so that can be easily checked.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're filing, if they're only reporting for their, $15,000 W-2 job, whereas they're not reporting any income on this at all, you can't prove what they're making just as a client. But yeah, you could cause people a lot of trouble by that. Like, the IRS does audit people, and they do audit people randomly, and they do audit people at kind of the request of their fellow citizens.
Well, I gotta say, I don't think I'm as concerned about this as you are. I wouldn't give these guys as much credit as you're giving them, because I think they want to believe that they're actually going to cause these girls some heartache and some trouble, and I just don't buy it. I don't think that this is going to be taken seriously by these agents.
I'm
at
also
all.
not convinced this isn't just a part of it in IRS plant, because...
Wait, are you saying that the guy who's the rape advocate is an IRS plant?
No, because he's not every single person.
Okay.
So just because some people are in on it, like just because some people are actually stupid enough to believe that the earth is flat and go around saying that, doesn't mean that the CIA doesn't exist. So...
Okay.
Okay,
I would
let
not
me
be
fill in
surprised.
you leapt over the canyon there.
I like to not assume that our listeners are too stupid to...
It's widely believed that the flat Earth theory was put forward by the CIA to make conspiracy theorists look stupid. That's actually it has been put forward that it is actually a conspiracy to create a conspiracy theory.
So more coming up here in moments. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up whatever you want here on Free Talk Live.
Crimes of the Crown by Captain Mark. The Crown casts the world in shadow and claims to be our guiding light. Cowards clamor for security from boogeymen and ghost stories. While I say these hobgoblins are imaginary, I say those they propped up as our liberators are now subsisting on our bondage. I say there is freedom in the black, and that's exactly where we intend to go. The Crown banishes its own officers for exposing its crimes and tortures dissidents to the brink of madness. It dominates the globe and swallows the wealth of generations, leaving only blood and excrement. The Crown calls it piracy to explore frontiers beyond its grasp. So the time has come for us to define the conduct among pirates. I say the Crown has trampled our necks long enough. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com. We won't be hard to find.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink, like we have. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening at home anytime, anywhere, from your smartphone. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. Get your Blink camera system starting at less than $100 by visiting blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing. To be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free. Bring up anything. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. We're talking about the incels, the involuntarily celibates. Some of them are really angry at cam girls, I guess, because they're jealous because they can't make money like that.
Because they have vaginas.
And, well, I mean, you can make money. You can make money with a penis if you are on a cam, too.
No, I'm saying a lot of the incels hate cam girls because they have vaginas.
Oh, okay.
They hate women in general.
Yeah, that could be true. But as you pointed out before, Rich.
You know, women apparently hated them and they're just hating them back, so I guess I can understand that.
But if they want human contact, they could always contact one another, as you pointed out before. They could, you know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or like if
old part in a storm, guys.
People don't really have that great a track record as a species. So if on the scale of people you find yourself so far to the bottom where none of the other ones want to associate with you, you should probably do something to improve yourself
rather than complaining and finding fault with others.
are calling the IRS, yes.
Right, because it's so much easier to actually find fault with others than to actually make your life better and to focus on, improving yourself.
Because if you suck so bad that the only person you can get to side with you as to whether or not people are too mean to you is the Internal Revenue Service, you really need to reevaluate your life.
It's a great point. So I do want to tell you about the Blink home security system. It is, of course, the holiday season, and you're looking for a gift. It's not Christmas yet. You got time to get this done. Go to blinkprotect.com/FTL. Get your Blink camera system for a loved one. It's starting less than $100. Now, obviously, you can tweak these things and add cameras and do whatever you want to with them. The Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wireless. They set up super fast because of that, and their batteries last up to 2 years. They've got a live feed option. If you want to check the feed anytime you want, you can do that. Or just wait until you get the clips from the cameras when you set them to be operating. It's up to you how this system works. You go to blinkprotect.com/FTL. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. blinkprotect.com/FTL. Like Free Talk Live. As we continue here, of course, our Discord on-air call-in line rooms are open if you want to weigh in on the incel situation here, as apparently some people have decided they're going to stoop as low as possible to one of the lowest things that a human can do, which is to say snitch on another peaceful human being who is ultimately just doing something voluntary and productive. You may not like what that person does for a living, but if you don't like it, just leave the person alone and figure out something else to do with your time. But instead, no, they've targeted cam girls, they've targeted apparently other sex workers and have reported them to the IRS, even though they don't have any actual evidence of anybody not paying taxes. They just, they want to try to intimidate them, and it's pretty pathetic. Was there anything else that you wanted to share on this, Melanie, or did we pretty much cover this story?
Yeah, and then the only thing I wanted to add there is some sex workers on Instagram and Twitter apparently giving really wrong tax advice.
Oh.
So
like what?
Don't ever take tax advice from a sex worker, and I will promise to refrain from giving advice on casual sex. So they're telling people wrong information about filing, not deadlines, filing thresholds.
Like if you make less than or more than X.
One woman was on there telling people they didn't have to file until they made $20,000. I don't know where that number comes from. If you are self-employed, which means you make money and you are not an employee classified as someone else's employee with all of that money, then if you make at least $400, you have to file. You're not gonna owe anything necessarily, but you still have to file. Or you probably still owe the 14% on the 400.
1999.
Yeah, I haven't filed since 2004, so you don't have to file.
Okay, so yeah, so
they may come after you.
The law is that's the law.
Yeah. Here's what I think of their laws.
If I'm not saying go file taxes, but if you're going to not file,
you're saying if you want to be
aware,
legal, you're giving
not even that much, but. So if you're going to commit a crime, you should know that you're committing a crime is kind of my position. So if that's what you're going to do, that's fine. But then know that that's what you're doing. And then maybe don't brag about it openly on the internet under your real name. If, that's not the kind of risk you want to take. So, yeah, that's, just in general, don't.
And Melanie, you're a tax professional. So you actually do know what the filing deadlines and limits and things like that are.
Yeah, but I do kind of, so that was really the last thing. But I think that this is really, it is dangerous. Having people call the IRS on you is dangerous.
I'm not saying that they're going to be completely safe.
I think it's more of a terrorism
you think the calling the IRS is terrorism?
Calling the IRS and telling them that you're doing it is terrorism.
Yeah.
But I think that it's more of a terrorism campaign than an actual campaign that's going to... some people are going to get audited. I have somebody arguing with me right now that it's not going to be a full audit. Most audits aren't. So, okay, so it's a line item audit. They could seize your stuff if they can see that you had some income. Maybe they can't even determine how much. They can still seize your bank accounts and your property and.
They can make your life a living hell if they want to. But the fact of the matter is, millions of Americans don't file taxes every single year. And most of them don't get audited.
Right, but most of them don't have campaigns of people reporting them to the IRS for funsies.
And most of them don't go on the radio and go, nah, 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 nah.
Yeah, so any risk that somebody wants to take, that's their business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you, okay, this is the risk you are taking.
Yeah, that's fair advice. All right, so the toll-free number here, if you want to join us, 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You know what? Since we're on the topic of people in the world of kind of geekland, the incels tend to be kind of an internet community. There may be some incels that aren't on the internet, but that's kind of how they become known. Is they've gotten together and they've created a place to go and complain with one another.
Well, no matter how toxic you are, you can find a place on the internet with people like you,
or
where
worse
you
than
can
you,
go and fester.
So, kind of in that same category is the world, because I touched earlier on the idea that there's these girls who get paid to just go on the internet and not even get naked. They're on Twitch.
Ain't America great?
It's amazing. It really is. I'm not jealous of them. I think it's awesome. More power to them. You know, if you got it, girl, use it while you still have it, because you probably aren't going to have it for your whole life. So you might as well use it now. But, these young ladies, they get on there, they play video games, they dress with showing some cleavage, and they make way more money likely than probably 90% of the dudes that are on this streaming platform. Again, we're on Twitch. You can go to twitch.lrn.fm. You can watch us there. But these young ladies, if you're a good-looking lady and you like video games, you've got a career, basically. As long as you're not afraid of a camera and you're willing to actually talk to desperate, thirsty, I think the word was beta males was used earlier.
Desperate, thirsty beta males is the accepted nomenclature there.
So that is the down part of the job. Like, that's the downside, right? Like, it's cool to get paid to play video games, but on the other hand, you do have to deal with your audience, which tends to be the beta male desperate category. Mm-hmm. So as long as you're willing to put up with them, then, they will pay you to watch you do things on the internet. I think it's amazing. But the other thing about this video game...
And the ones that are paying them are not necessarily the horrible ones that are reporting.
No,
it's
not at all.
probably a different group of people.
Yeah, absolutely. The toll-free number here tonight, 855-450, free like freedom. The ones paying are the ones who still have hope, right? But then there's also this esports thing. Do you guys know what this is? Esports?
Esports?
Yeah, they're actually making video games.
Oh, that's where you take a bunch of ecstasy and then
it's not that.
Video game esports?
Not that. Yeah, more coming up here in moments.
Hear that? That's the sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
You can't win if you don't enter, and you actually can improve your chances of winning a prize drawing if you wrinkle up your entry blank. I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com, and I speak from experience. Why this works: if they'll be spinning the drum before drawing, your entry blank will move around more than, and not adhere to, other perfectly flat entry blanks. And if they don't spin the drum and merely reach into a box full of other perfectly flat entry blanks, many of which are sticking together, yours will feel different to the person reaching in. When you win, act surprised. And if you're looking for work, this is a metaphor. For more tips on sticking out in a world where just too much blends into the blah, 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 hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live.
I said he was working for
You
criminals.
called him a criminal, did you not?
No,
I don't
he
think
might have
so.
just been a sucker.
He said he was working for liars and thieves and criminals. Isn't that what we would call politicians?
They've been crooked since the dawn of time.
Agreed. So let me ask you, what is somebody who takes money to kill at the behest of liars and thieves? What do you call that person? Because a veteran is the one who called in and boxed us in the corner on this in the past. I don't have an answer to that question. That sounds very nice, at least. Do you?
Truthfully, no, I really don't have an answer to that question except to say he was doing his job.
Well, I mean, that's what they said at the Nuremberg trials, right? We were just following orders.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here toll free. At 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. A lot of libertarians got to know Tom Woods during the Ron Paul campaigns of 2008 and 2012. Tom is a New York Times best-selling author. He's written over a dozen books, including The Politically Incorrect Guide to American History. Since September of 2013, Tom's been putting out The Tom Woods Show every single weekday, which means he's racked up over 1,200 episodes so far. You can go and listen to them over at tomwoods.com or search for Tom Woods Show in your favorite podcatcher. As we continue here, we were just touching on this sort of the way gaming has changed. I mean, I remember when I was growing up. I'm a little younger than you, Rich. I'm a little older than you, Melanie. But in the 80s and the 90s, video games were a thing. They were popular. They didn't cross the threshold of being bigger than Hollywood movies until the aughts. So in the last decade, there was a certain, I think, point in the middle of the aughts where the amount of revenue coming in for major release video games began to exceed the amount of revenue coming in for Hollywood blockbuster movies. So that was definitely a turning point. But, games just used to be kind of a thing that people did. It was a hobby. It was something people enjoyed. And it has become something completely different now. It is something now where people can actually they can make money if they're not the programmers. So it used to be the game manufacturers were the ones making money on games. Now you can actually make money, as we were talking about earlier, if you have a modicum of ability to be in front of a camera, aren't afraid to interact with an internet audience, and especially if you're physically attractive, you will make money, certainly as a female, playing video games on a site like Twitch. If you're a male, you probably have to be someone entertaining or, have some kind of, reason for people to tune into you.
Or good at video games.
Or that, yeah. And so there's money to be made just off of playing video games at sort of an average level. But now they actually have something called Esports, which I think takes video games to a ridiculous level. But, I'm not the one in charge. I'm not the one deciding these things. This is what people want, apparently. Arlington, Texas. The story coming from CBS News, where the largest venue dedicated to esports in North America opened its doors this weekend, drawing a sold-out crowd at its inaugural event. The city's convention center transformed into Esports Stadium Arlington, falling right into place with AT&T Stadium and Globe Life Park. Professional gamers, coaches, gaming PCs, and more lit up the stage in front of a sold-out audience on Saturday. Fan Chris Lane says, "Oh man, it's majestic. It might as well be the ninth wonder of the world when you come to an event like this," he says. The inaugural event was the Esports Championship Series semifinals of the popular first-person shooter Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Now, did anybody think for a moment 20 years ago or 15 years ago when, people were just on the internet playing video games with one another, that someday there would actually be teams of people getting sponsorships like, patches on jackets of race car drivers, that kind of like corporate sponsorships, to play competitive video games? That's what has happened. That is the world that we're living in today. Not only are people getting paid to play competitive video games, but there are people who are fans of this, who will go and pay money to watch people play video games competitively in a stadium seating kind of format. They're going to sports stadiums designed for video game players. You're laughing. It's funny, isn't it?
I know it's true, though, but that is so boring.
I totally agree. I don't understand. Look, I can understand why somebody...
I don't know what makes it more boring than a bunch of guys running around on a field.
Sports ball is also boring.
Well, that's the thing. Is that's what I miss. Is the thing that's common to this and sports ball, which is wanting to watch other people play games.
Right.
But once you've got that, the absurdity of the video game.
It seems more
doesn't
absurd.
Seem any more absurd to me than the football market.
At least sports ball actually requires some level of skill.
Yeah,
not just I'm going to play this video game.
It's just a mating display writ large with a lot of homoerotic symbolism. But
a lot of it, yeah.
But the I don't know. I don't see it. But
I get. So you're saying it's on the same level as regular sports?
It's exactly on the same level to me. They strike me as precisely equivalent.
But are you going to argue that... Now, look, I'm like you guys. I'm not a fan of sports ball or anything like that either. But I got to say, I'm kind of more on Melanie's side on this one. It's like, at least with sports ball, you've got real skill.
There's like some level of dignity with actual sports.
In a world where killing people with drones is a thing, maybe being able to operate your joystick is a real skill.
There's no doubt that these players are better, right? Like they're probably way better than I would be, right? Even though I've played video games before, I'm sure if you sat me down with one of these professionals who spends all their time playing these games, they would whoop my butt. Right? Like, there's no doubt about it.
Well, almost certainly, unless they are of a sufficiently high cup size.
So I'm saying they would defeat me in the video game. They'd whip me. And so, to some extent, practice does create skill in the world of video games, but it just doesn't seem like the same level of skill.
It's not something I even want to call skill. Like, I guess technically it probably is. But so even a lot of sports, some of these subsets of what you have to do are translatable into real-world valuable skills.
Like what, kicking a ball
running
or hitting
fast
a ball?
Can be useful. Being physically strong can be useful. Playing Mario Kart is not useful outside
they use the same skills when they beat their wives.
Wait, you're talking about the sports, the regular sports
athletes,
people?
They beat their wives the same way, so they do use those skills outside.
Okay, yeah, so just because a skill can be abused does not mean it's as worthless as playing video games.
Yeah. Look, I think it's great that this is something people can make money on. That's cool, but I also find it ironic that I wonder how many of the esports fans were critical of regular sports. You know what I mean? Like, there's certainly, I wouldn't say it's unfamiliar to computer geeks to make fun of people who watch regular sports, but now they're becoming esports fans. And so I wonder how many of the people who are huge fanatics of this esports used to criticize sports fans. You know, how the sports fan knows who the Heisman Trophy winner was in 1979.
Is that the same group of people, though? Because you can play video games, and that's, a valid hobby, without going to stadiums and watching other people.
No, but I'm
play
asking
video
how many of the
games.
people who go to the stadiums previously had criticized sports fans for doing the same thing. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I thought it was the people who were playing video, because there wasn't, as far as I know, a big spectator group back then.
No,
so,
this is new. This is a new thing.
Once in a while, you get three people behind you on the Donkey Kong machine in
There
the
you go.
80s.
Yeah.
Happened.
Yeah, but they were standing in line. They weren't
No,
paying
sometimes they wanna watch.
$100 to watch.
Sometimes
They'd watch if you were good.
Yeah. There were people gather around a good arcade player and watch that person play. There might have even been people taking bets on some of those games. But this is a whole different. Yeah, this is a whole different thing here. The inaugural event again was for Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is the game they played. The league is structured like the business of traditional sports. There are 20 teams across North America and Europe, and each team has an owner, paid players, and sponsorships. The ever-growing wonder of esports was not only popular at the stadium, but also to tens of thousands streaming the event live online. Jonathan Odthone, founder and president of Engage, which I guess is I'm guessing that's the like the equivalent of the NFL, NGAGE. What do you call that? The league. He says, I'm super pumped. I'm just glad we've opened the doors. We're getting people funneled in. He helped set up the 10-year lease with Arlington for the stadium. He says, my dream is to pack this house out every weekend to expand and grow this venue to a 20 to 60,000 seating venue one day so we can compete with the NFLs and the Major League Baseballs of the world. The prize money on the line for the event, $750,000 if you were the top winning team of this event. More coming up. Free Talk Live.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink, like we have. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening at home anytime, anywhere, from your smartphone. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. Get your Blink camera system starting at less than $100 by visiting blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
My doctor makes more informed decisions prescribing my blood pressure medications based on the data I presented to him on the Smart BP app.
That's one.
Smart BP can export a colorful, detailed blood pressure report that I can bring to my doctor.
That's two.
Smart BP is easy to use and intuitive, and the features on the free version are very generous.
And that's just 3 of the thousands of 5-star reviews of Smart BP, a new blood pressure tracking smartphone app from Evolve Medical Systems. Smart BP is the only app designed for ease of use and seamless connectivity to help manage your blood pressure and keep track of your health at your fingertips. With Smart BP, you can automatically sync your blood pressure measurements through Apple Health and Microsoft Health Vault. Connect with Apple Watch. Easily print and share detailed reports with your doctor, plus many more features. Smart BP is free and available both on Apple and Android devices. And be sure to search the App Store for Smart Blood Pressure from Evolve Medical Systems. That's Smart BP from Evolve Medical Systems, the Smart Blood Pressure Tracker.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free. We can get you on the air here in these remaining moments. Got time for you right now. Over at 855-450 free. That's the toll-free line, 855-450-3733. Also, we've got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Discord is our chat server. There are people there all the time, pretty much. You can go in there and get interactive with them. It's free. And when we're on the air during the show, you can call in and you'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. It's Ian, Rich, and Melanie in the studio here. We were just talking about this esports concept that just seems to just keep getting bigger. There was a venue that was purchased, I guess a 10-year-long lease of the Arlington Convention Center has been leased now and turned into an esports stadium, where at the opening event they had, it doesn't say how many people attended, but there were $750,000 on the line for the top prize for these teams that just play video games. But that's not all. According to one of the co-founders, and it doesn't say what this organization is, Faceit, F-A-C-E-I-T. Is that, I don't know if that's one of the teams or what it is, but Michelle Atasiani said, a lot of these teams have mental coaches. They have nutritionists. They have people that prepare them to come to this competition and perform at their best.
Well, yeah, for $750,000, yeah, that makes sense. Hey, if somebody was gonna pay me $750,000 to watch videos of me reading books and doing puzzles, yeah, I'd do that. From the consumer's perspective, though, it's like, why?
So they're paying, in this case, are the gamers to compete with one another in a tournament, right? So the fans watch. The people who are the players are competing in a video game and getting paid for it.
Right, yeah. So from the people who are getting paid, like, yeah, if somebody's going to pay you good money to do silly things, by all means, do silly things. That doesn't really change my opinion of, like, the sense that it makes on the consumer standpoint.
From somebody who wants to actually go to the stadium and pay for a ticket, presumably. I'm guessing there's a ticket price to get into this thing. If you've got $750,000
yeah, if you have a little under $1 million, then there probably is a ticket price.
I'm wondering what it costs to actually get into to watch one of these.
Unless it's one of those things where you pay in to like a pool.
I don't know how it works. They say they have sponsors, etc. We'll get back into it here because there's an even more ridiculous story that one of our chatters just posted in the Discord chat that's related to this. But first, we go to Stu. He's watching us on YouTube, actually, in Salt Lake. Go ahead, Stu.
Hey, guys. What's up?
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Just wanted to call and say thanks for letting me listen and for doing the show that you guys do.
That's nice.
I was the winner of the giveaway for the Liberty Dollars too.
Oh, right on. The new Liberty Dollar that is now tied in with a cryptocurrency, so an actual silver-backed Cryptocurrency.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Daryl actually got some of the silver out of it. So it's first and foremost, it's an actual Ethereum token, but you can exchange the token for the silver that backs it, that's sitting in a warehouse or a vault somewhere. How's
it von Nothouse?
It's his son.
Nice.
Yeah, so Bernard von Nothouse has a son. His name's Extra. And he's basically taken on the mantle of the Liberty Dollar concept. And
they should have called it Sons of Liberty Dollar.
So, Stu, what about it, man? How was your experience with the Liberty Dollar 2?
Oh, it was great. I've already redeemed all of them, and they shipped and arrived today. So I looked down, they're beautiful coins, and I'm pretty excited about them.
Yeah, I did see the ones that Daryl had redeemed. I don't think he redeemed all of them. It'll be interesting to see how many people actually redeem it for the silver versus how many actually hold on to it as a cryptocurrency. I think it's it's in its incipient stages. There's a pre-sale that I think is still going on. Anyway, it's a neat concept. Liberty Dollar 2.
Are they denominated?
Yeah, I'm kind of a crypto nerd too. I thought of buying some more of the tokens just to hold on to the ERC version of it.
Yeah, so ld2coin.io is the website, and I'm just checking the site right now to see where they're at in the pre-sale. So what they had was 10,000 of these things as a limited edition pre-sale token, sort of as a fundraiser to take this to the next step. And the last I'd looked, they were under 4,000 of them remaining, so they'd gone through over half of them. Let's see here. No. Okay, here we go. Yeah, just under 4,000 of them remaining. So there's still quite a few of these available for anybody that wants to get in on the initial launch of this concept. So check it out over at ld2coin.io. Stu, was there anything else you wanted to say, or just say thanks?
Yeah, just thanks, guys.
What do you think about this esports thing?
Oh man, I kind of thought that eventually we would get there, because video gaming's always been so popular since I was growing up, and ever since Nintendo came out, and then there were ideas of people putting together smaller leagues and stuff. I figured it would get to a big national event eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten ridiculous. There's another headline here from back in August from ctvnews.ca, and thank you for the call, Stu. I appreciate hearing from you. Glad you like the Liberty Dollar, too. Headline, growth of esports industry pushes parents to hire video game coaches for kids. I mean, this is not satire. As competitive...
See, I have a hard time believing that. I'm suspecting that it's the kids who are pushing for the video games, not the growth of the industry.
Well, either way, parents are hiring coaches for video games.
Yeah.
For their kids. Like tantamount to hiring a coach to help you with your golf swing, or hiring a coach to help...
a lot of parents are people who decided they want a kid, and then a lot of parents are just a bunch of people who couldn't figure out how to operate a condom. So that kind of explains this.
I'm not sure if that explains this. Some parents,
I think it does.
I think some parents want to get their kids the best, right? They want if their kid plays a video game. That's what this is. It's ridiculous, but this is reality now.
Well, okay, I'm not sure why it's ridiculous. I had weird things that I wanted to do when I was a kid, and my parents may have had no idea why I wanted to do them, but I wanted to do them, so they'd buy me a baseball glove.
Yeah, but did they ever hire a baseball consultant to come in and help you catch better?
Yeah, because that would be the equivalent.
But there were certainly people who did. I mean, well, first you had Little League teams, then you had certainly people who were getting private coaching for their kids, or
that's what
giving their
is.
Kids
for video games.
Right. So I don't see why it's worse for video games.
No, it's just silly. It's just it's
I don't
shocking.
see why it's more silly. It doesn't
I'm not saying it's more
me
silly
because it seems like to me a natural confluence of people like sports, people hire sports coaches, people like video games, people hire
it's the same thing.
I think that most of the people who are hiring professional sports coaches coaches for their small children are being very silly.
Right. I think we're agreeing here that it's all
true.
the same level of silliness, because the idea is you're going to hire this coach. It's going to help your kid be better at baseball or be better at Super Mario or whatever it is that their competitive game is, and that then they'll get into a league. Then they'll get into the NFL. Then they'll get into this new video game league, whatever that's called. As competitive video gaming, or esports, has moved from the fringes to the mainstream, parents are paying coaches to teach their children how to improve their video gaming skills and gain an edge over their opponents. Nikolai Larson is one of the coaches parents turn to. This is another way people are making money, right? We were just talking about the different ways people make money off of video games who aren't the programmers anymore.
So if you're an incel, become a video game coach
Consultant.
instead of ratting out sex workers.
You might meet some moms that way if you become a video game coach.
Yeah, but if you got the kind of personality that leads you to rat out sex workers, who's going to want to know you?
Hiring for their kids as young as 10 years old who are falling behind. He told CTV's Your Morning, quote,
Who are falling behind?
We take a look at their gameplay.
In video games.
We take a look at their strategy and the way they approach these games, and then we just do coaching, he said. It sounds simple because it is kind of simple.
I mean, you could have...
It sounds simple because I'm a little simple.
Right.
You could at least let the kid enjoy video games and have it just be a hobby instead of trying to make that into some serious, like, oh no, like you got a D in video games, like we had to hire you a tutor.
The worldwide gaming industry is expected to rake in close to $140 billion this year alone, according to Newzoo, a research firm that focuses on the gaming industry. The Entertainment Software Association of Canada says 19 million people in Canada are gamers, and 52% of them are male, which championship esport matches routinely sell out massive arenas such as Madison Square Gardens and draw online crowds much larger than those enjoyed by more traditional sports. Some winners take home as much as $100 million in prize money. Whether we like it or not, or whether we think it's silly or not, this thing is a phenomenon, this esports stuff. We are out of time tonight, but you can join us online in the meantime at freetalklive.com. And Rich, hopefully we'll see you back here again sooner rather than later.
Hoping to see you soon, bro.
More coming up tomorrow, freetalklive.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey, who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, November 26th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.31 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,225 per ounce. Zen is trading at $6, and the average price of Bitcoin is $3,785. Antiwar.com reports tensions between Russia and Ukraine are once again soaring, with reports that Russia has seized 3 Ukrainian naval vessels off the coast of the Crimean Peninsula over the weekend. Crimea is de facto under Russian control, but Ukraine considers it part of their territory. Earlier in the day on Sunday, Ukraine accused Russian ships of ramming their tugboat in the Sea of Azov and opened fire